Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get.
I was built to last when the webs are weaving. I could change the past alone.
Hey man, how the hell you doing? I've been just fine living life with the noose and in my mind, all I hear is music. Watching your mouth move, damn you look stupid. I feel like everyone's a stranger. Small talk with your narcissistic neighbor. She's real hot, but they say to never date her. I agree, but you did and I hate her. You wanna get away? You better get in line. Won't go another day of wasting any time. I've got a lot to say, can't hold it in this time. Got no filter, I got no filter. 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 Hey man, can I get a favor? Yeah, sure, hot, no, see you later. Sometimes I just wanna be a hater. Gotta wash down the top 40s with a chaser. Your voice starts feeling like a waiter. Scraping my mind against a cheese grater. Before you go, sir, you have to sign a waiver. That's alright, I'm aware of the danger. You wanna get away? You better get in line. Won't go another day of wasting any time. I've got a lot to say, can't hold it in this time. Got no filter, I got no filter. 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 No filter, I got no filter.
All right, boys, we ready for it? Oh, don't look at that. That's foreshadowing. Don't do that. Can't see that. You're not ready for it. What the fuck? That's never a good sign. That's usually a sign that I was half asleep this morning. How dare? There we go. What the hell is that? Why does it look like Rambo? Of course it's a Warhammer 40,000. Of course it is. I expect no less. If they can get away from the turn-based combat, man. Oh, I have been playing Pragmata. Holy shit, is that game good. I am thoroughly impressed so far. I thought that the character would move like shit. Very intuitive. I'm very surprised, honestly. It's not clunky at all. The controls are awesome. I've already gotten to like the third location of the game. I definitely recommend it so far. We're gonna watch this. So they gave Mouse PI for Hire a 6. I'm happy to inform you that yet again, IGN is eating shit. Because they suck. A review discussion? I love how they have to have discussions for their reviews now, because they can't give an honest review of any game. They have to go with their checklist. See, the problem that I really think was going on with IGN is IGN only sees it as a job now, and they've strayed away from just having fun with the games. That's the biggest problem. It sucks that Mouse PI for Hire and Pragmata release so close to each other. It really sucks. I'm gonna check out this Atomic Heart. This game seems really cool. I've seen a few bits and pieces of it, but this just looks crazy cool.
My comrades, we are unusual specimens. We weren't supposed to live, meet each other, and come back from the dead.
Hey, let's skip the heroics. We all go in together.
We try it. You remember the plan?
We track down Charles and kill him.
What the fresh hell is this? Take cover!
Go, run, hurry!
This looks kind of like Wolfenstein mixed with Doom and a little bit of Bullet Hell. Bullet Hell is not a specific game, it's more like a genre of just seeing a whole lot of projectiles on your screen, vomiting it up all at once.
How do I destroy this damn thing?
Kill them, baby. Kill them all. How was your trip, Major?
Hey guys, for our loved ones.
This would make one hell of a scary game with all the mannequins. Bro, the fucking mannequins.
Guys, for our loved ones. For our loved ones.
I wait for you.
Holy shit. Oh man. You know, guys, I think this game is made for someone like me.
Just come back, Major.
Wait, what the fuck? Wait, what happened? Why is this all the way down? Bro, it is one of those mornings, man. I messed up this morning. Is that another DLC? Oh, it's a roadmap overview for Battlefield. Hold on, when did this come out? How'd I miss this? This was a day ago.
As the struggle between NATO and Pax Armada unfolds on Battlefield servers around...
NATO? Bruh, stop lying to yourself. Stop lying. Me and you both know you lying.
around the world, we wanted to take a moment to share our vision for the future of Battlefield 6 and RedSec directly with you. We're here to lay out where the year ahead takes us, from maps and modes to features that we know you've been asking for.
Oh!
First, we wanted to thank you for all of the feedback and your passion for Battlefield.
Thank you for accepting the feedback and not rubbing it into people's face. That's a damn good start for a development company.
Watching you play Season 2's Contaminated and Hoggenthal base highlights the amazing ingenuity and creative ways our community plays in our Battlefield sandbox. But today is about looking ahead at what you can expect from Battlefield 6 and RedSec during the rest of 2026.
Season 3 arrives this May, and listen, we've heard your feedback about the kind of map experience.
You know what's really crazy? I grew up playing Call of Duty, and I remember the first time I sat down and played Battlefield because a couple of my friends just kept talking about it, and 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 talking about it. And I was like, fine, let me go ahead and play this game. And I played like the first couple in high school, right? I thought it was alright. It's kind of crazy to see the roles and the themes completely reversed now. I will never, for the most part, touch another Call of Duty game, but I would just as easily drop $60 or $70 on a new Battlefield game, 100%. And you also have to keep in mind that Battlefield's the only one that's been consistent. The last game prior to this was a flopperooski, let's be honest. But they fixed it. They did. They fixed it. They fixed the game. They made it good. Battlefield's been the only development company, other than maybe a handful of others, that have been 100% consistent. They made a bad game. They fixed it, made it a good game.
You want in Battlefield loud and clear. And that is why Season 3 opens with our reimagining of a classic Battlefield 4 map, Railway to Goldwood, which will be the biggest map in Battlefield 6 yet, nearly 4 times the size of Mirak Valley. Set within Tajikistan after the events of the campaign.
Zombie mode this morning? Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Optimized to match Battlefield 6's visual quality and gameplay. This means we're introducing new cover, larger aerial spaces, and more opportunities for strategic play when it comes to close quarter combat and long-range engagement.
Windrose? I would play Windrose, but the problem with Windrose is that it's for PC only. And I don't want to sit in this spot for 12 hours a day. I got a nice comfy chair in the other room, and I got Mouse PI for hire and Pragmata. So I'm good for right now. Hopefully by the time I finish those 2 games, I'm looking to 100% Pragmata. By the time I finish those 2 games, Windrose should be on either console or Steam Deck, so.
We've already begun testing Goldwood in labs. From sightlines to vehicle balance to time to kill to cover and more.
Morning, David.
We already have a lot of feedback to get the map ready for Season 3's launch next month.
Say that. Morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing okay
and we
today.
Can't wait for you to get your hands on Battlefield 6's biggest map yet. And later in the season, another legendary map arrives. Cairo Bazaar, our update on Battlefield 3's Grand Bazaar. This map is a post-bounding experience with...
You know what's so weird? How come it is, and I don't know if anybody else has noticed this with Call of Duty's recent maps, why is it that the maps are cluttered, but there's no fucking cover? They're cluttered, but there's absolutely, positively no cover anywhere.
Grand Bazaar. This map is a post-bounding experience.
Everything is like, oh, there's a bus or a car, and then it's wide open spaces all the way around it. Am I the only person that noticed that?
Firefights in tight alleyways and buildings designed for deadly ambushes that highlight our signature destruction.
Like, I haven't played the most recent one, but
we'll be introducing Battle Royale solos as an official mode, as well as the beginning of our ranked play experience. We're incredibly excited to bring ranked play first to Battle Royale quads in RedSec.
Damn!
We're looking forward to getting your feedback and building this experience with you in and out of Battlefield Labs.
So what happens if you blow up a building and there's like a person in it? Do they get hurt by the debris that's coming in down on their head? Can they get killed from it? Like, because like you see here the whole building, well, maybe not. Maybe the foundation stays, right?
In and out of Battlefield Labs.
I haven't played it, so I don't know.
Ranked Play's debut in Season 3 sets the stage for this thrilling competitive experience that will not only evolve in future seasons, but expand to other modes, including Battlefield 6 multiplayer, as we build new ways to showcase your skills in Battlefield.
In July, Season 4 will arrive. And with it, we'll now have land, air, and sea balance. That's right, naval warfare is coming to both Battlefield 6 and RedSec. As you take the fight to the Pacific, you'll experience a new naval-focused map called Sulu Reef, even larger than Goldmud, with gigantic air and sea spaces that will begin testing in labs soon. And that's not all for Season 4. We also have the return to Wake Island, one of the most celebrated maps in.
Whoa, dude, look at that island. That's fucking gorgeous. Bro. Okay, so hear me out. 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 Little St. James Island. Why isn't there a map of Little St. James? If this was old back in the day, back in like high school and stuff, you know COD or Battlefield would have come out with something like that. Why haven't they made a map of Little St. James?
The series history. Aircraft carriers with operational flight decks, new naval-based vehicles, a dynamic wave system that makes ocean combat even more intense, and of course, naval-based challenges with exclusive rewards.
Let's go on,
We'll
Borgemeister.
begin testing Season 4's new maps in Battlefield Labs soon. Can't wait to hear what you think.
Since launch, we've heard of several features you'd like to see in Battlefield 6 and RedSec. We plan on
There is nothing that hypes up players more than a development company that listens. I'll tell you that much.
bringing these to you this year, alongside a sea of ongoing quality of life updates and combat improvements to make sure Battlefield rewards your passion for the series. We'll give you more details as we begin testing them in labs to gather your feedback. But today I can confirm a server browser with persistent servers to give you even more options to host and play your preferred experiences, as well as custom pregame lobbies. Leaderboards to show
Damn.
which players are dominating the world of Battlefield. Spectator mode, so you can sit back and watch your squad in action or cast the action live as it unfolds. The return of platoons, so you and your squad can connect and play together more efficiently.
Damn.
Proximity chat, which gives you even more ways to communicate.
They didn't have proximity chat. I'm shocked. I'm shocked Battlefield didn't have proximity chat at launch. What?
And the ability to eavesdrop on enemies to make tactical power plays. We're also dedicated to doing a rework pass on 2 maps, New Sobek and Blackwell Fields, using Battlefield Labs to help raise the quality bar on both based on your feedback. And after we've worked with you to evolve ranked play in Battle Royale, we'll deliver the Elite and Open Series as promised, the pinnacle of competition in Battlefield. Today, I can also confirm that as a holiday surprise, we'll be dropping a 3rd map into Season 5. You'll have to wait to
Damn.
learn about them, but I will say that the roadmap does offer a hint of where you'll be fighting.
We have so much amazing content coming across all these seasons. Massive maps to bring Battlefield's brand of chaos to life. The return of naval warfare so you can experience land, sea, and air battles. Requested features will launch and continue to build alongside you, like ranked play and
Was
server
proximity
browser,
chat?
and
Well, then
the
I
launch
wonder
of the
why they're-
Open and Elite competitive series. All of this alongside our commitment to continue to evolve and make the core gameplay experience of Battlefield
Damn.
even better. We have a ton of details on weapons, gadgets, and vehicles you will get to master. We even have a few surprises we can't spoil today.
Ooh.
I hope this sneak peek of what we have coming in 2026 has you as pumped as everybody working across Battlefield Studios. We're committed to evolving Battlefield. We can't wait to take you on that journey this year and beyond.
Damn, that's what's up. That's what's up, bro. think that's a show. I don't know. I'd rather not take the chance. Let's see. What the fuck is this? Exodus? What is this? Well, this gameplay adds absolutely nothing to anything. Okay. That's not new either. This is another. You know what? This is gonna be something weird. This is gonna be just like Mind's Eye. Even the lasers are the same. There was a mission where you had to go into a prison, and the vision looked the exact same. I don't know about that. Oh, they did a Samson review. Oh, we could totally watch this and not take their review seriously. Yo, I bet that new John Wick game that's coming out is going to be fire. Y'all see that new John Wick game? They actually have a John Wick game with Keanu Reeves in it. I already did Pragmatus. I already reacted to it and it's up on the channel. I'm ahead of you, man. Gotta be quicker than that. Damn, there's a I'm not watching the Pokemon one. I can already see Nintendo over there going, oh, we're gonna demonetize them today, boys. Oh, fuck you.
In some ways, Samson reminds me a little of 2025's Mind's Eye. That is, like Mind's Eye, it's regularly gorgeous, has some neat vehicles, and is intentionally narrower and far less GTA adjacent in scope than it may look like at first blush. However, also like Mind's Eye, Samson is pretty bad, with extremely janky combat.
Oh, I think we found our Mind's Eye.
Predictable car chases, and a small pool of constantly repeating missions, this open-world driving brawler hybrid became a dull and annoying slog long before I reached the end of my 12-hour stint with it. Worse,
12 hours? How?
even though I've cleared the mammoth $100,000 debt that drives Samson's daily grind of crime, a game-breaking bug has left me soft-locked out of actually finishing the main missions and rolling credits. It's as if this game doesn't want me to finish it properly any more than I do.
Bro, what? What? Oh!
Samson's setup is simple. You are ex-con Samson McRae,
Well, I guess we know where we don't have to spend our money, boys.
who's recently returned to his neighborhood of Tyndallston. It's the 1990s, but disappointingly, the choice of time period has virtually no impact besides forcing McRae to use payphones.
Talk to me.
There's certainly no 90s music on the car radios. In fact, there's no car radio at all, so there isn't even anywhere players could potentially dump their own. McRae has a $100,000 debt being held over his head by an out-of-town crew using his sister as leverage, and must make daily repayments to keep them both alive in the long term.
You owe a lot of money.
Tell me something I don't know.
Parallel to this, there are 14 story missions involving some criminal rivals of McRae and his Tyndallston pals, of which Samson served me up 7 before getting gummed up by some kind of bug that has prevented me from seeing the rest. There's a finite amount of jobs you can take on per day, and the sense of urgency and pressure this places on
That map looks oddly familiar. Liberty City Stories maps. Spider-Man map. Chinatown Wars Grand Theft Auto map. Mm-hmm. Why does that map look so familiar? That map looks... Maybe it's because it looks like a Grand Theft Auto map? Man, that map looks familiar though, don't it? Have y'all seen this map anywhere? The Division is on mobile? Bro, they're cooked.
your actions is
They're cooked.
quite compelling.
This map
for a
looks
brief time,
familiar.
Before I grew weary with the general
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Cyberpunk map. That's totally what it is. I was like, fuck, dude, that looks so familiar. What is it from? That looks like the island in the middle of the Cyberpunk map where the hot zone is. And then it's got the area around it that connects it to the actual like location. I don't think that's gonna go through at all because the phone's too bright. Oh yeah, that's totally what that shit is. Oh, it's even got almost the exact same amount of connections too. What the fuck?
you can take on per day, and the sense of
No, that's totally what that is. What?
urgency and pressure this places on your actions is quite compelling for a
Because Cyberpunk's main map is like an island in the center of a bunch of connectors.
brief time. Before I grew weary with the general sloppiness of the brawling, the bugs, and the overall repetitiveness of the missions
I think Hell Let Loose is going to be a really good game.
themselves, chipping away at the huge sum was an admittedly compulsive loop. Each day is broken up into 3 sections, afternoon, evening, and night, and you initially have 6 action points to devote to taking on missions that typically cost 2 or 3 apiece. You must complete jobs to scrape together enough cash to service your debt every single day, and if you come up short, you'll be greeted by hired goons paid to pound it out of you the next morning.
Put him down.
allow me to note that I'm well aware Samson is not exactly a big budget game, and on the Venn diagram of open world action driving games that operate on the fringe of Grand Theft Auto's turf, there admittedly isn't exactly a ton of crossover. At its core, Samson is really a straightforward open world brawler with a basic driving component, and that's it. And that's fine. But its narrow scope isn't its problem. The problem is how drastically unfinished and unrefined it all is. Make no mistake, Samson is...
Maybe they needed the money. Why do they keep... Like, if you're a small development company, stop spending money, bro. Try to polish what you have. Like, for real.
Regularly very good looking. From the way the midday sun pierces into McRae's crumbling apartment to...
Does none of this shit matters? If someone buys the game and it breaks within the first couple hours.
Steam emanating from manholes on the rain-slick streets, Samson's visuals have truly been wonderfully realised. Tindleston itself is also a genuinely fascinating place to inspect, thanks to its remarkable level of detail. The world is better described as more of a single neighbourhood rather than a city on account of its small size, with the main part of town just a few blocks wide and flanked by 2 waterside industrial zones. Plus, there's a thin strip of freeway across a river accessible via several bridges. However, keeping it small has clearly allowed developer Liquid Swords to dress it with layers upon layers of credible urban grime. From the piles of garbage and stripped-down cars to the splashes of unique graffiti and hastily scrawled slogans, Tindleston feels lived in a way not all open-world games manage.
I gotta give it to him. That does look really good. Like, look at the water puddles on the ground. You can see the reflections.
In a way not all open-world games manage.
See that?
Unfortunately,
that's impressive.
Samson's admirable aesthetics can't counteract the shonkiness of its combat, the dullness of its driving, or the dreariness of having to do the same missions over and over for no measurable payoff. Samson's strictly hand-to-hand brawling is clunky and graceless, and there's no firearm combat at all, which begs the question of whether this whole game might have been better off set in a different country altogether. Cops will very occasionally fire on McRae, but even they mostly forget they're armed.
Oh!
At one point, I killed a man surrounded by police in the forecourt of a precinct, and not one of them thought to pull a pistol. Enemies appear to have very little environmental awareness, struggling with tight spaces and doorways and getting hung up on props and clipping through parts of the world. Sometimes they just ignore your presence altogether. What's with this guy? I don't know, man. I'm sure he's just here to reverse over some other guys. Yeah, you're probably right. Oh no! With no lock-on available, fights typically devolve into spamming McRae's light attack button and swinging the camera around as you swipe at the air trying to connect with opponents. There's also a slow and highly telegraphed heavy
I'm sorry, this game looks like shit, bro. This game is ass.
attack that lands with a pleasing enough meaty crunch, but it's not something you can use much when surrounded by enemies. Combat isn't particularly responsive either. For instance, staggered opponents will have a prompt appear above them for a finishing move, but getting this to trigger feels inconsistent. I often found myself simply spamming the button with no result before subsequently giving up and windmilling another salvo of punches out ahead of McRae until his fists find some face flesh by accident. Extracting him from combat is even more frustrating. Mashing the dodge button is effective enough, but his ability to actually sprint away is seemingly blocked when being swarmed by thugs. That means trying to turn and slowly jog in the opposite direction will just get you punched in the back of the head a bunch. Some fights can be avoided by staying in your car, but there's a limit to what you can achieve behind the wheel. A bit of this is the result of Samson's habit of having invisible enemies drag McRae out of his vehicle and toss him several stories into the air, just far enough away that you'll automatically fail the mission.
How was this game released? How?
But of having invisible enemies
Bro, this is the shit that you don't ever show to public.
Out of his vehicle and toss him several stories into the air, just far enough away that
How?
you failed the mission. This may well be a trade-off for all the times enemies will go through the animation of yanking him out of his car without actually doing so. And you're able to continue driving.
Yo! What?
More annoying, however, is how enemies generally have a supernatural ability to simply skate out of the way of your speeding vehicle, like animals and pedestrians in licensed racing games that aren't permitted to let you run down living beings. Unless the environment prevents it, your car will often just push enemies out of danger like identical poles of a magnet. This is not only annoying, but it looks awful and unfinished, particularly when trying to mow down large groups. For some reason, however, enemies are completely oblivious to reversing cars, so if you back towards baddies, they'll simply run mindlessly towards your rear bumper until you smear them onto the asphalt.
Oh, not good.
What? What the fuck?
Unfortunately, the driving pillar of Samson's action isn't any sturdier. There are a smattering of driving-specific missions, including checkpoint races, deliveries, takedowns, and getaways, but none of them are especially enjoyable. Getaways are probably the most disappointing, since the wanted system transparently cheats to get a fix on you. Even when you've broken line of sight, if you stop, police will conveniently continue to make all the correct turns to get you.
That's so
Failing
annoying.
that, Samson will simply spawn in a new police cruiser out of nowhere, directly behind you.
What?
Think you're safe tucked away down an alley, far from the initial pursuit? So did I, until a police car blinked into existence meters away and slammed straight into me, seconds before the cooldown timer had finished.
What?
Die on me now, baby.
Takedowns are disappointing too. Despite Samson's trailers hinting at the prospect of thrilling crashes as enemy cars wipe out and tumble alongside you, this doesn't really happen much. What we typically get is rival vehicles bumbling around town on predefined routes. You know exactly when a T-bone is on the cards because after a few takedown missions, you'll know
this
exactly
game
where
is
your
a
targets are.
joke. This is definitely like Mind's Eye. We found our next Mind's Eye, boys.
Gonna turn.
Ooh.
Occasionally, they'll get hung up for no apparent reason and refuse to proceed, giving you an easy target to smash into.
Got you now.
However, sometimes that takes too long, and the moment you wreck that car, the other vehicles are too far away and you'll instantly fail.
Lost them.
Oh, bro.
Other times, your own car won't survive long
Fuck
enough.
this
You
game.
have to hoof it to the closest parked one. Samson bafflingly doesn't let you carjack vehicles with drivers in them already. If you're lucky, there'll be one close by. If you're not, you'll be running for a while.
Really?
Takedown missions often end the millisecond you cause enough damage to your final target. At that point, the action will freeze to congratulate you on your success, but the moment play resumes, the target car will disappear off the face of the planet. Sometimes all the cars in the area will disappear.
These are my streets.
What the fuck?
Much like the 2015 Mad Max game's magnum opus, there's an overt attempt in Samson to have players become attached to McRae's personal vehicle. It's perhaps not a coincidence, considering there's a good deal of talent at Liquid Swords who formerly worked at Mad Max developer Avalanche.
Ah.
As a total car dork, it's something I fundamentally understand. In practice, however, it just doesn't work. The cost of repairing McRae's car is roughly as much as a typical mission will pay out, so the requirement to constantly do so in order to keep using it is too big a burden, and an unnecessary one at that. I quickly pivoted to using stolen cars to complete missions.
That's fucking
Aside from
stupid.
mild variation,
What the fuck? That's fucking stupid. Dude, like, who the fuck? Bro.
excluding McRae's one-of-a-kind muscle car, I think there are only about 4 different traffic cars in Samson. That's really very low for
who the fuck made this game, bro?
With the exception of a few checkpoint races with particularly unforgiving time limits that I quickly learned to avoid, I eventually found I could reliably complete missions in any one of them. I took down the same street racer on several occasions in an old Ford Econoline style van, and at one point I disabled a whole 4-car convoy in a boxy old off-brand Chevy Caprice. The 90s European and Crown Vic inspired
Yo, they
sedans
out there representing, boys.
feel appreciably slower than McRae's car, and I completed plenty of checkpoint races in them. I see what Liquid Swords was trying to do, but it pushed me away from McRae's car rather than increasing my desire to nurture it.
Oh yeah, that's the feeling right there.
There's a whole XP system with perks and upgrades, but none of them feel meaningful. They largely just increase attributes like
I'd say
health.
that this game's going, like, I would put this immediately at a 3. I hate redoing missions. Whenever I am forced to redo a mission because of a game bug, I immediately lose interest in the game. Because I feel like I wasted my time. And I know, oh, well, it's a game. Oh, yeah, but you if you're a gamer, you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
And power and such, which means little when enemies get similarly stronger alongside you. Reaching the end of my loan repayments only took me halfway through the XP levels, so I can't really say if you'll eventually outpace your enemies.
Yeah, it was like Liquid Studios or like
Wait,
Squid Studios or
that's it.
something like that.
There's simply no good case to keep playing Samson after hitting that point. Clearing the debt got me a giddy phone call from McRae's sister Una, and that's it.
We did it, Sam! You did it!
From that point on, it's noted McRae can keep what he earns, but there's no purpose to have cash on hand other than to afford car repairs, and I have no desire to keep playing the same recycled missions I've already completed 3 or 4 times each.
You there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just,
If you want an open world brawler with a little drama baked around it, play
Oh, is this
Sleeping Dogs, where the hand
Yeah, that's right. Sleeping Dogs. I got this game and I never beat it. I played a little bit of it, realized how old and dated it looked, and I was like, no.
The hand combat drastically outclasses Samson in every way.
Oh!
If you want
Hold on, wait a minute.
hefty American
Wait a minute. Whoa, 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 whoa.
where the hand-to-hand combat drastically
I need to play this game. Hold on, wait a
outclasses
minute.
Samson in every way.
Do you think that he has actual brain damage from that? I mean, even more so than what he already
In
had.
every way.
Man.
If you want satisfying car chases in hefty American land yachts, play Driver San Francisco. If you want an open-world driving game designed to foster a relationship with
I was gonna say, just say Mad Max, bro. Just say Mad Max. Mad Max was awesome.
showcases the best of what a core part of the Liquid Swords team is.
Mad
capable
Max is a fun game. If you have never played Mad Max, oh, it's so good.
of, play Mad Max. And if you
San
want an
Andreas,
open-world
that's
project
right,
that
boy.
actually feels like it's
They
set in
need
the
to do a remake for San Andreas.
90s, just dust off a copy of GTA San Andreas. Samson has all the components of a game I should love. It boasts a gorgeously realised and impressively atmospheric open world jammed full of bespoke detail, an authentically grimy 90s noir setting, and a deep enough respect for its 3D action driving roots that I'm reasonably convinced they named a bridge after the main character of Driver. On top of that, it's been assembled by veterans of the best game released on September 1, 2015. Unfortunately, Samson just doesn't work. Broadly, it doesn't work because of its litany of
You know why it doesn't work? It's because it's probably from all the developers that got fired for trying to push bullshit into Mad Max. That's probably why.
bugs and glitches, its wasted 90s setting, and its format of repeating jobs that rapidly becomes tedious and unsurprising. More specifically, however, Samson doesn't work because it's literally broken, since it also stopped serving me story missions halfway through and left me in a soft lock save file I can't actually finish. Despite updates this week coming with apparent fixes for various progression blockers players are suffering. Samson may come stocked with an impressively detailed sandbox, but it's totally impossible to
Oh, that's rough. Oh my god, dude. I think that's a score that's even worse than Mind's Eye. Ooh.
recommend in its current state.
I hope that the actual John Wick game that's coming out is better than this. Please don't make a John Wick game that's terrible. Please don't do this to me.
For more recent verdicts, check out our
Jeez,
reviews
what
for
a
Replaced
joke.
and Mouse.
Dude, seriously, what a joke.
Blue boat. I got you.
Apparently, a lot of people have been looking forward to this game. I don't know why, but there have been a shitload of people that have been looking forward to this game.
Oh, that's alright.
Tomodachi Life Living the Dream is a big digital dollhouse. Except instead of housing mass-produced toys, it's brought to life by hilarious recreations of myself, my friends, celebrities, and fictional characters built with its in-depth me maker. It's childlike fun to dress them up,
I feel like a heavy weight has been lifted from my shoulders.
feed them dinner,
I have to pee first.
and meddle in their drama.
Okay, I hear you. But here's my counterpoint. No.
Making this a deeply funny and equally personal civilization simulator that constantly rewards your creativity. It spits out share-worthy clips like a factory, which is why I can't get over how difficult it is to actually share your favorite moments, characters.
I swear to God, if IGN gives this a higher rating than Mouse PI for hire, I'm gonna go crazy.
And creations. Overly strict limitations turn what should be an extremely social game into a disappointingly isolating one, and that major issue puts a dark cloud over this otherwise delightful paradise.
It does look a little bit like Wii avatars, doesn't it? It looks weird. It sounds
my 35
crazy.
hours in living the dream were spent designing Miis in this revamped version of the Mii Maker. If you're coming straight from Tomodachi Life on 3DS, this is a big step up, with more options and sharper graphics that still maintain the simplistic charm of the original. I've never been the best at designing Miis, but thanks to the advanced capabilities of this new tool, I felt really great about the character I made for myself. I was also forced to get good at making Miis because sharing them with others is extremely limited. It's restricted to local wireless, meaning you can only send a character you've made to someone in the same room. This is
What the fuck? What the fuck? Who decided that was a good idea? Like, what? Who do you think this game is for? A bunch of people that fucking... Like, dude, like... Oh... Is this like the fucking daycare console? Like, hello?
an enormous downgrade from the 3DS's shareable Mii QR codes. I love so many of the Miis I've seen people making in the demo, so it's disappointing to know there's no way for me to get that exact character on my island. It's similarly frustrating when I want to add the Miis of my friends who live across the country, being forced to recreate them from scratch. It's tedious, and takes a lot away from the fun of planning your island roster. You can technically still use those old 3DS QR codes by scanning one to your 3DS, transferring that to an amiibo, and then scanning that amiibo on your Switch. I added a bunch to Living the Dream this way, including official Nintendo-made Miis of Shigeru Miyamoto, Reggie Fils-Aimé, and many others. Or if you're one of the roughly 2 million people who bought the Switch remaster of Miitopia, you can smuggle Miis through its sharing tools too, but due to its unique makeup system, lots of them don't transfer very accurately. In 2026, does it really make sense that the most reliable way to directly share Miis across the globe requires 15-year-old hardware, plastic toys, and a bunch of busywork? I don't think so. It's just sad that artistic ability puts a limit on your potential in a way it really didn't last time. To get the most out of Living the Dream, you'll have to love making Miis, or at least accept that you'll spend a ton of your time in the character creator. Thankfully, once you have a few characters roaming around, Living the Dream gets really fantastic. I started by adding myself, my fiance, and 2 of my all-time favorite Major League Baseball players. Do you recognize them?
Hello?
I'm so impressed by how accurate and detailed the personality customization is. By simply adjusting a few sliders, each Mii is assigned one of 16 personality types, and I found they captured the exact essence of the person I was recreating more often than not. You can also set pre-existing relationships, as well as select pronouns.
But how would you know that? How would you know what the personality type is if, like, based on that slider?
And
I'm sensing some bias paid off here. Hold on, wait a minute.
Promise. Treating your Miis well by feeding them food they like, gifting them clothes and treasures, or introducing them to others will increase their happiness and cause them to level up. It's a great loop. Seeing how they react to different items is fun on its own, like how you'll see them walk the pets you give them, and the rewards for leveling them up allow you to personalize them even more through behaviors, catchphrases, and additional gifts. When a Mii of Metroid Samus Aran leveled up, I gave her a quirk that makes her walk everywhere like this. Each Mii deals with...
Who the fuck plays these games, man? Who plays these games? Why do you play these games?
Their own set of problems, and I'm their life coach. You tip the scales in these surreal situations, but how they play out is ultimately up to the Miis. Most of the joy in living the dream comes from observation. With
What do y'all think this game's gonna get? I think they're gonna try and rate this bitch a 9.
That are made more memorable by eccentric writing and quirky text-to-speech voices that say whatever you type.
No preteen, no teen. I guess that's preteen. Yeah.
Just a quick note, I played in handheld mode a lot, and it's impossible to recreate these scenarios exactly after they've happened, so I don't have perfect footage of everything I'm about to talk about, but it did all take place. Sometimes things go really well, like when my real-life fiancé and I delightfully watch the cartoon versions of ourselves fall in love, get married, and move in together. Other times, not so much, like when Samus and Reggie got into a huge violent fight over who knows more about the reality show Survivor.
I won't forgive you.
Don't worry, I cheered Samus up by giving her a chicken suit and decorating her house like a hamster cage. She loved it. There's an absurd Mad Libs nature to all of this, where entering phrases with personal meaning makes everything so much funnier. That said, you will start to see through the matrix after a while and recognize the somewhat repetitive foundation these sequences rely on.
I could already see it, man. What do you want about? I swear to God, if this gets a higher score than Mouse PI, bro, I'm telling you.
To skip the conversations when a Mii is trying to make a new friend because they basically always play out one of a few ways. But even after 35 hours, I'm still consistently surprised with new interactions and events that often make me laugh out loud. For example, every time you enter a phrase for a specific prompt, it's added to your island's lingo database. So one time I told my fiance to bond with former Seattle Mariners ace Felix Hernandez about watching the M's lose baseball games.
I really respect folks who are good at watching the M's lose.
Hours later, IGN's Jada Griffin asked Logan if he had much experience watching the M's lose. Trust me, he's got decades of experience.
Yeah, I've totally come around on the joys of watching the M's lose. We should hang out sometime and do that.
That's kind of funny. That's actually kind of funny.
Creative outlet is the Palette House, a hub for non-Mii creations that eventually lets you design home interiors and exteriors, food, clothes, pets, and other treasures to gift your Miis.
Yep, I think I've landed in it, boys. I think this is hell. I think we've gotten there. Yep, there's not a doubt in my mind we're not in hell right now. Well, I guess it was fun while it lasted.
It's incredibly flexible. You can make whatever your artistic abilities allow, and you give it attributes so your Miis react accordingly, like assigning a spicy flavor profile to a food you
How's
made.
it going, Appalachia
My handcrafted
TV?
creations don't look nearly as polished as the stock images that make up the pre-existing objects, but that gives things the vibes of an official playset mixed with some homemade crafts I threw together, which I find very charming. I spent some time making my dream Lynx crossbow training Switch port a reality, and now it's the most popular video game on my island. I also designed a Seattle Mariners hat for all of the fans to wear while watching them lose.
Do you feel like talking about?
Our Lord and Savior, Jeepus Cripes. Please save us all.
Watching the M's lose.
And a version of my cat Wallace for my fiance. Unlike real life though, she hated him. Designing items can be done with the controller or the touchscreen, and while it is very in-depth and generally works well, it'll just never feel as good as using a stylus on the 3DS touchscreen. I was at least pleasantly surprised to see it runs at 1080p on Switch 2 while in handheld mode, so we don't have to deal with a blurry, stretched image like some other Switch 1 games. Of course, I'm yet again disappointed that the only way to share Palette House creations is through local wireless, which feels like another huge miss. But that pain is at least eased here since there are literally—
You know why? Because Nintendo doesn't fucking care about you, that's why.
thousands
You're
of
fucking, you're sheep, and you're just money. That's all you are. You're goy money, bitch.
clothing items,
You
food
fucking
options,
take your
and
goy game, and you play your goy game, and you accept it, bitch.
treasures already built in. You'll earn them by playing one-note minigames that do get pretty repetitive,
Aw, too bad. It's heads.
or by buying them at various shops.
They gave the mouse PI for hire a 6.
that open over time.
For the
whose rotating
stupidest
catalogs
fucking
incentivize
reasons.
logging in every day. After you buy
But I'm happy to let you know that Mouse Pi for Hire is doing extremely well. So
something once, it becomes a permanent part of the shop's supply. Through leveling up your Miis, you can also unlock new items to build with, like different types of roads, street lamps, and playground toys. How you shape your island is completely up to you, and there's a ton of flexibility. I decided to group my island into 3 main areas. A residential district built on floating docks surrounding a lake, a main street with all the shops, and a baseball field, and it's fun to see which areas my Miis like to hang out in. The building tools are snappy and easy to learn, and I really appreciate how frictionless it feels to create. If I run out of something I want more of, I can head straight to the shop without having to back out of the island builder. You can also decorate the island with paths or objects created from scratch at the Palette House, and I cannot wait to see the crazy creations other people come up with. That is, the creations from people who jump through the hoops to share them. Nintendo has blocked screenshot and video sharing for Tomodachi Life, meaning you can't
Bro, why? There's absolutely no fucking reason to do that. That is insane, bro. Nintendo was like, you fucking pay $800 and accept that dick up your ass, bro.
can't upload images directly from your Switch to your smartphone.
Bro, this game was probably like $80 too. To boot, it was probably $80 fucking dollars.
Like you can with basically every other game. If you want to share funny moments or creations, you have to transfer them to your PC first with a USB cable or by removing your micro SD card, or just take a low quality picture of your screen with your phone. It feels directly at odds with Tomodachi Life's philosophy of creativity, communication, and observation. Even the 3DS version had an option to directly upload images to social media 12 years ago. I can only speculate that Nintendo doesn't want to host offensive content on its cloud servers, or it wants legal protection by being able to point to the fact that user-generated content was explicitly designed not to be shared. I'm not a lawyer, but regardless of the justification, this limitation feels like an overreaction that genuinely harms the final product. I do understand a bit, because somewhat shockingly, there is no language filter in Living the Dream. You can make your Miis say absolutely anything, and your Palette House creations can take any shape. Nintendo's motivations here likely come out of an interest to protect kids, which should obviously be the #1 priority. But this is the generation where Nintendo finally introduced.
This is the generation where there's no way in hell anyone would spend $800 on this dumpster fire console and give it to their child just to have it fucking bricked by Nintendo and its bullshit. And that's the generation that this is. And any parent that does that is a fucking idiot.
Used built-in voice chat, and it laid out a blueprint for how sharing Miis and items could have worked both easily and safely. To use game chat, you already need to be friends with someone through your respective Nintendo accounts, and then you both need to opt in to receive chat invites from them. It's baffling that a similar process wasn't implemented here. Tomodachi Life Living the Dream is a deeply funny and equally personal civilization simulator. It is genuinely hilarious to create cartoonish renditions of your friends, family members, celebrities, and favorite characters, and mix them all together just to see what absurd situations unfold. They'll fall in love, get into fights, and say completely unhinged things that remain endearing dozens of hours later.
It's so awkward when someone is walking almost the same speed as me.
Even if its somewhat repetitive nature reveals itself well before that point. Where Living the Dream loses me is its extreme sharing restrictions. It's beyond frustrating that there's essentially no way to directly share Miis, custom creations, or even simple screenshots online, which is an enormous downgrade from the 3DS version. If you're not good at designing complex characters or just get bored of it after a while, it can feel frustrating and isolating. Tomodachi Life Living the Dream hands you the keys to a unique, quirky paradise that rewards your creativity and directly reflects your personality. I just wish
It's gonna be a rough year for IGN. It's gonna be a very, very rough year for IGN, I can tell. You just can't not do it, can you, IGN? You just can't not do it, can you? Wow. Well, I certainly hope y'all like being in business. Because if y'all keep doing this, y'all not gonna be in business for very long. What a fucking joke. What an absolute fucking joke.
On the AI praying apps yet? We talked about those on stream quite a bit. I already talked about the newest one, where you pay $2 a minute to talk to AI Jesus. Honestly,
is this real? You can pay $2 a minute to speak to AI Jesus?
that might be another good pivot for Newbird. You might as well. Yeah, it's $2 a minute, right, to talk with AI Jesus? Am I misremembering? Let me see. Yeah, $1.99 per minute to video chat with AI Jesus. Thought so. AI Jesus app, just like me, charges $2 per minute to video chat with a digital Christ trained on the King James Bible. The faith-based AI market is growing. The faith-based AI market, by the way. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Just a complete dismantling of faith right in front of your eyes.
Glorious content.
Did you know you can just pray for free? Ah! What? You're speaking crazy. What? But you can't see and hear Jesus.
Bro, tell me what I don't look like, EVBot.
Jesus through your.
Is that what it looks like?
Screen if you're not paying.
No.
Mr. Jeff Tinsley. Monthly package priced at $50.
So hold on, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that we have now effectively made boomer tablets? So if grandma is putting up too much of a fuss, you can pay $50 a month and put her in front of AI Jesus, and then she can be entranced by AI Jesus. Is that really what we've done here? This could be a breakthrough. Hold on, wait a minute. Let it cook.
5 minutes of conversation time. I didn't dive super deep into this because we had already covered another AI Jesus scam. This one blows that out of the water. Holy fuck. This is like turbo heretical. Oh, wow.
45 minutes of So you mean to tell me that there is a monthly package that allows you to talk to Jesus through that's an AI Jesus for 45 minutes in a 24-hour, like, dude. Bro, they literally have the gate closed down on AI Jesus too. That's crazy.
Let me look up this guy, Chris Breed. Unsurprisingly, he's in California. Unsurprisingly, this doesn't even look like a real guy. This guy also might be AI generated. I don't have a LinkedIn account, so I can't look at him very much. Okay, here. For some reason, I can't bring that over there, but here. That's Chris Breed, apparently. That ain't real. That's what I'm saying, man. This guy...
What the fuck?
He also looks AI generated. I want to hear him try and talk about it. I'm so curious what he says. So many grannies fall for this daily. Yeah, I have no doubt some people will actually do this. I do not doubt that. Who falls for this? The easy cop-out answer is just defaulting to saying it's all old people, but it's just not. It's not.
Yeah, I think that the Minneapolis riots and the riots across the country have been polarizing for America. And it really kind of shows you how many of them are willing, or like for that matter, even the Iran war, with all the AI videos that people so readily just instantaneously believe. I think that it's kind of polarized the entire country and woken up a lot of people to how stupid people can be. It really has. It's kind of insane. So, like, unfortunately, it's not just older people that are paying for this. A lot of dumbasses out there, man.
People of all types fall for it.
A lot of dumbasses, bro.
There's apparently a statement from him here. You do feel a little accountable to the AI, Breed told the Associated Press. They're your friend. You've made an attachment. Yeah. That's good. We need to...
How's it going, Bone Anger? How's it going?
That's what we want. We want people to form an attachment to their AI. Is this a video of it?
I hear your request for prayer.break. Father God, I lift my dear friend Krista before you. Breaking.
For $1.99 per minute, the tech company Just Like Me is taking having a personal relationship with Jesus to new levels.
The psalmist says, "The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want."
Users of the platform can join video calls with an AI-generated Jesus that remembers previous conversations.
This is not a replacement for human connection. At the same time, people are spending so much time in the social world just scrolling.
It's part of a larger...
Oh my god, that's the biggest load of fucking baloney I've ever heard in my life. What a slimy asshole. You're charging $2 a minute to talk to AI Jesus, or $50 a month to have 45 minutes of conversation with AI Jesus.
Let's go, Nigel.
Oh my god.
Oh man, Nigel.
Social world just scrolling.
Stay safe on the weekend, man.
Boom of AI tools designed with religion in mind, from AI Jesuses to Buddhist priests like this one.
Understand its source.
Emmy is supposed to be a Zen friend, someone who helps human beings in their Zen practice.
I tried Just Like Me's AI Jesus, first asking it a simple question.
How many books of the Bible are in the New Testament?
The New Testament contains 27 books.
Then I made it a little more complicated.
Is AI going to take our jobs?
The scriptures remind us that every skill is a gift from God.
Get some food, man.
He calls us to be faithful stewards of those gifts.
That's what's up.
Seek wisdom and prayer as you navigate.
This cost her like $50, by the way.
But when I asked it to pray for me, things didn't go quite as...
I don't know about y'all, and I could be saying this too preemptively. So during... Now I want y'all to keep this in mind. During Biden's administration, I kept getting spam calls and 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 spam calls. Dude, like every fucking day. At least 2-3 times a day, right? I find it interesting that ever since Trump got into office, I haven't gotten a single spam call. Not a single fucking one. Isn't that interesting? I think it's really weird, right? Has anybody else had that happen? Has anybody else noticed that?
Smoothly.
May you give her peace that passes all understanding. Break. Guide her steps with your loving light. Break. Deep breath.
During Biden, if y'all got a bunch of spam calls, because I got a bunch of spam calls during Biden. Every day I get like 2 or 3 calls a day. But ever since Trump got into office, and it was like that before too, when Trump got into office, the spam calls stopped. Like it completely stopped. Gone.
May she feel hope surrounding her. Breaks. May the Holy Spirit.
Yes, I can feel it.
Her mind now. Breaks.
Break.
But for some of these apps, there's been more than a few
Yes.
glitches.
So there's been issues already.
Speaking in tongues.
If you guys getting spam calls, by the way, here's a trick that you can do as well. When you pick up the phone and it's a spammer or a scammer, try to get to a person, and then you ask them why they're contacting this number. It's a federal number, and they'll put you on a no-call list. Anytime you pick up the phone and it's a robot, try to get in contact with a person. Don't give them none of your information. Try to get in contact with a person. Tell them that it's a federal number.
What that is, not issues.
There's GPTs, but other versions as well, where they give misinformation and disinformation out. There's been concerns about data privacy.
Incredible. Incredible. Amazing. That's Paula White Kane rates. Oh, I bet Paula's pissed that she didn't think of it first. Isn't this the most blasphemous shit possible? It's up there. It is definitely up there. I also like how Chris Breed didn't bother to show his face in that.
Really? There's also a federal
dumbass
website.
Jeff Tinsley.
Boneegger says there's a federal website that you can that's supposed to remove your number from telemarketer lists. That's interesting.
Oh, it's not like a replacement. It's just you pay us and we'll have AI Jesus talk with you. When Associated Press asked the AI about the relationship between artificial intelligence and religion, Digital Jesus said it views AI as a tool that can help people explore scripture like a lamp that lights a path while we walk with God. So why does that tool cost a ton of money?
That's all good.
That again, just that doesn't track with what's in the
Yeah,
script.
I'm fairly certain the scammers still call anyway, even after you do that. Because I think what happens is that they just put your number back on it if they realize that you're not getting any calls and shit.
Graham Martin, a podcast host, an atheist who's tested similar religion.
The best thing you can do is try to get through to a person if you've tried that like website and try to tell them that it's a federal number that they're calling, not to call again.
This AI app said he grew concerned when one platform's AI Jesus prompted him to upgrade to a premium subscription. Listen, sorry, I love you, like you're my children, whatever. But you're also
it's called the National Do Not Call Registry.
So if you want to
That's what
keep
Bone
yapping
Anger
with
said.
me, you want to keep blabbering, you're gonna have to upgrade to that premium subscription. You feel me? AI Jesus. Thus they're paying and paying and paying. And if they want to, get into heaven, they have.
It's kind of sad that it's just another tool in the toolbox for these scammers. I hate to say it, but that's exactly what it is. Another tool in the toolbox for a bunch of freaking piece of shit scammers. So, if you don't know already, Johnny Somali is finally where he belongs.
He went from being a human being.
There is a bunch of YouTubers that are pushing for him to get a way longer sentence. I hope that they reconsider and keep him there for longer. I do.
Yada. They're getting arrested several times.
6 months. That's all they gave him was 6 months.
Saying South Korea couldn't imprison him.
The max penalty is $100 fine or something, you know what I mean? Whatever.
I know for a fact I'm not gonna go to jail. You're the one who's gonna look so dumb when I do.
He's got a work sentence. He's on work detail. So he's working. He's working. They're not fully paying for him. So he is working, guys. Keep that in mind. He's being forced into manual labor. He's doing hard manual labor because he's going to have to register as a sex offender. Keep that in mind. He's also going to be registered as a sex offender for 5 years. And that does carry to the United States, by the way.
Don't get any jail time or anything. It's just gonna be a fine. What the I'm just gonna pay and leave.
Yeah, a woman's prison? Man, don't insult women with this fucking clown. They need to send this fool to clown college.
You can't go to jail for
They're finally being convicted in South Korea, sentenced to 6 months of prison with forced labor. As this is especially sad.
I wonder how they enforce that. What do they do if you refuse to work? What do they do in South Korea if you refuse to work, if you have forced work? Withholding of pay documents. Work in South Korean prison. Refusing to perform assigned labor is treated as a disciplinary violation, which can lead to significant penalties, including solitary confinement, loss of privileges, and potential extension of, or at least a stay in prison. What the fuck? How is that worded? Solitary confinement, loss of privileges, and potential extensions of the, or at least a stay in prison, such as a loss of parole eligibility. Cells, solitary confinement. These cells are considered high security, where inmates are restricted from physical exercise, visitors, books, or writing materials. That's stupid. Why don't they whip him? I mean, why don't they do that still? Whatever happened to that?
Since he once went after me, specifically openly admitting to submitting false copyright strikes to silence my coverage of his crimes, calling me a racial slur, saying he'd end my career, when all he really did was live stream his fatherless behavior and non-stop beatings across the globe. So before we get into what he's specifically going to be doing in the gulag, let's take a moment to notice this isn't the only punishment he's endured over his nonsense. As over 2 years ago, he went viral over his racism, so he got sucker punched on livestream, randomly strangled by a stranger, absolutely floored by another foreigner, getting rocked all across Japan just to entertain his 24 subs. Then went to South Korea to get smacked again, asked for more beatings.
If you want to run up on live. I broadcast my live location every day, every night, bro. I don't care. Come get me.
And then he got his ass beaten, and a dude chased him around with a fucking stick.
Come get me!
To which they quickly obliged, getting hit with a fire extinguisher, and even hunted down by a Korean Navy SEAL as the entire
By the
country...
way, that Navy SEAL, a content creator, paid for his bail and all of his fines, and any of his court costs. YouTuber paid for all of it after he beat the shit out of Somali.
seemed to be hunting him down. His sentence might have only just started, but his punishment has been going on for years now. As for almost a year, he's been facing charges in South...
Yeah, but I guarantee you what he's gonna do, and this is what kind of pisses me off the most, is I feel like Somali's gonna refuse to work and be put into solitary confinement. That's what he's gonna do. And you know why? Because he doesn't have to worry about getting his ass beat by the general population, that's why. Now, if I was Somali, that's what I would do. That's what I would do. I would refuse to work, so I'd be put in solitary confinement. And yeah, you would lose one less meal a day, but like, it's better than getting your ass beat. Because that's what they do to him, they beat his ass.
Korea, not necessarily for the dancing on statues of comfort woman, but for the harassment of innocent bystanders, the disruption of multiple businesses for content, and the creation of fake adult AI content of him and a Korean girl. But since he was quickly arrested and released in Japan and that other third country, but all that taught him is he's never...
Oh, you know what? You're right. They did say he was in a specific prison.
Never going to face any real consequences, openly threatening the Korean judge and their mother.
The judge, the prosecutor, y'all can my chest. Yeah. Soft. Causing anxiety by carrying a fish. Tell the judge you can. I'll bring a fish to your mother's house.
Absolutely convinced Korea was too weak to imprison him.
I'm gonna show you guys how far I can push the boundaries, and I'm gonna show you that the Korean government is not gonna do anything to me. Because I'm an American citizen. The Korean legal system is not as strong as people think and perceive it to be. Johnny's gonna get away with everything at this point. Like, they just keep arresting him, letting him go, arresting him, letting him go. So I just want to show them I will continue to do whatever I want as a you, not only to the legal system, but as a you to these YouTubers. I wouldn't be on live saying this if I was really afraid. They're gonna probably give me.
Oh, I like the sound of that. Hold on, wait a minute. I like the sound of that. Refusal to work is considered a violation of prison rules. He would likely be written up, receive disciplinary action, and potentially be placed into solitary confinement, often referred to as the hole or a specialized detention. I like the sound of that. Now, hold on, wait a minute. Now, hear me out. So what you got to do is you got to do it like old style. You got to strip him butt-ass naked, and you throw him in that fucking hole, and you leave him there for a couple days. And then what you do is if he doesn't want to work, you just keep leaving him in there. And then when 6 months goes by and he still doesn't want to work, you keep him there until he finally decides he wants to work for 6 months straight. And you don't even tell him that. So that way he doesn't know how long it's been. You know what I'm saying? That's smart. He doesn't know how long he's been in there.
Sentence, fine, deportation, and ban from Korea. Like, that is like the 99% chance outcome.
The max penalty is $100
I think
fine.
he will too. I think he's a worm that realized that he's got. I think he will work.
I know
for a fact I'm not gonna go to jail. You're the one who's gonna look so dumb when I don't get.
No, I don't think his lawyer told him that I think maybe the day that he went to his final court before they threw him in jail, probably. The lawyer told him that he was probably going to end up going to jail. But before that, he had done this in Japan and he got away with, a slap on the wrist and a little fine. So, I mean, he probably genuinely thought he was going to get off.
Jail time or anything. Bro, I'm gonna laugh.
But as time went on, he started to look pretty scared. So from May of last year till today, he wasn't allowed to work, nuisance stream, or anything other than leech off his friend. As everybody is upset that his sentence is only 6 months, but I personally see it as 2 years of public shaming and a life sentence of being internationally known as the face of faultless behavior. As Korean
That's
prison-
true. That's very true. You do realize that he is going down in history as an absolute clown.
Will not be kind to him.
Right in front of the toilet.
Since the room is small, fights often break out over the best spots. Weaker inmates usually suffer, so sleeping spots are assigned.
That's
in order
crazy.
To prevent any kind of pecking order from forming among the inmates, all of the spots are assigned based on the order in which they first entered the living area. Naturally, the most coveted spots are assigned first, while the least desirable spot, the one right near the bathroom, always goes to the very newest arrival.
So that's going to be Somali spot right there. Bro's going to be he's going to be huffing all them shits, man.
He's also been sentenced to forced labor, which he'll work 8 hours a day in one of their various job assignments. Starting at 6 a.m., working until 5.
Woo! That's what I'm talking about, boy! Let's fucking go. Put that ass to work.
With a tiny break, back to share a cell with up to 8 other inmates, which he'll likely be making shopping bags, or to bring back about $150 a month, which is ironic as he would live stream to 24 subs, which is just over $100 a month. Meaning being in a South Korean forced labor camp might actually be more profitable for him than when he was live streaming, as the South Korean prison camps are supposed to be about reintegration into society, with longer sentences setting you up to learn a specific trade. But I somehow doubt even forced labor will fix this not Somalian, as after the other nuisance streamer did nearly 2 years in Filipino prison, he almost immediately returned.
Wait, how long?
Did nearly 2 years in Filipino prison.
No, Vitali wasn't in a Filipino prison for 2 years. How long was Vitali in a Filipino prison? He spent 91 days in prison in the Philippines. I was like, I don't think so. I was like, wasn't it like 3 months or something? It wasn't that long.
He almost immediately returned to live streaming his nonsense and is now facing a potential $1 million.
So apparently, not only is the guy suing Vitali, he's also suing Kick. He's suing the platform. I don't know why Vitali would even be unbanned. He should be permanently banned for that.
Defamation case. Similarly, Johnny Somali faced prison in Japan, but after Japan gave him a light slap on the wrist, said he was heading to Korea.
I'm tired of Japan. Really. And then I'm gonna go to Korea, and then I'll be a hero in China and Korea, bro. No, we're gonna go crazy.
Oh, please go to China after this. Please go to China after this. Please, 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 please go to China after this. Please take your ass to China, boy, and do the same thing. Please do it. Please go to China. Please go to China. Dude, we don't need your genes in this pool. Get it out. Just go to China. Yes. Yes. Yes, go to China, please. Please go to China.
He returned to becoming a human piñata for attention. Where these idiots are so starved for attention, they'd basically do anything.
I'm kind of surprised South Korea didn't airdrop Somali into North Korea. Straight up. Why isn't that a sentence? Bro, like, oh man, mean, that's kind of worse than dropping a nuke on a civilization, if I'm being honest. I mean, let's be real here. I mean, man, I don't think biological warfare has anything on that shit, dude.
For empty internet fame. Again, reminding us, this is just the men's version of daddy issues. So if you appreciate my concise, lighthearted commentary on the tragic...
Yo, W Decoy.
Reopen, let me get this straight. Trump on why his voice sounds different on air today.
Have you been negotiating a lot all day? I mean, is that why your voice is hoarse?
I've been screaming at Iranians all day, yes. A little bit of a laryngitis because of my I've been screaming at Iranians.
So the Iran leadership you're screaming at?
You know why? Because that's the only thing they understand. They don't understand being nice.
And President Trump on Truth Social, Iran has just announced that the Strait of Iran is fully open and ready for full passage. Thank you. No, this is great to see. Finally.
They said that so many fucking times, man. So many fucking times.
Open, but the naval
nobody knows what's going on.
Blockade will remain in full force and effect as it pertains to Iran only. So he's opening it, but for everybody except for Iran, only until such a time as our transaction with Iran is 100% complete. This process should go very quickly in that most of the points are already negotiated, in line with the...
So here's what I heard happen. So, the Strait of Hormuz was still closed to everything other than the Iranian ships. And then Trump made the naval blockade in front of the Iranian blockade and blocked all the Iranian ships from passing through. So that's what's going on. And I think they haven't attacked them because I guess we're still at a ceasefire? Which I don't know why, because they haven't held up their end of the deal at all, which is to open the strait. I mean, what the fuck are we doing here? Like, what is going on? What the fuck is going on here?
Ceasefire in Lebanon, the passage for all commercial vessels through the Strait of Hormuz is declared completely open for the remaining period of the ceasefire on the coordinated route as already announced by the Ports and Maritime Organization. Wow. Oh yeah, this is it. Iranian lawmaker said that Foreign Minister Araghchi would have been faced impeachment over his Hormuz reopening tweet if not for wartime considerations, accusing him of repeatedly making ill-timed remarks that calm global oil and energy markets. Man, it's happening. If they're arguing and talking shit to each other like this in public, it's so over. The oil... Oh my god.
Holy
so it went
shit.
down by like 10% or something. Check the S&P 500. Wow. So it's just going up like crazy. Holy shit. So the oil prices are crashing to $83 a barrel as Iran officially reopens the Strait of Hormuz. The USA will get the nuclear dust created by our great bombers. No money will exchange hands in any way, shape, or form. This deal is in no way subject to Lebanon either, but the US will separately work with Lebanon.
Oh, you should know that Trump also forced Israel to stop going after the Hezbollah in Lebanon as well. He said, no more. And apparently Benjamin Netanyahu is really frustrated right now, which also shows that America wasn't just there for Israel. It shows that America just told Israel to fuck off and stop doing what they're doing. And now Benjamin Netanyahu is now apparently really frustrated.
And deal with the Hezbollah situation in an appropriate manner. Israel will not be bombing Lebanon any longer. They are prohibited from doing so by the USA. Enough is enough.
Well, we'll see. I mean, we have a very good relationship with Iran right now, as hard as it is to believe. And I think it's a combination of about...
That's insane. If you think about that, that affects the world. 11% drop in crude. That's insane.
Weeks of bombing and a very powerful blockade. The blockade is maybe more powerful than the bombing, if you want to know the truth.
Netanyahu kind of responded to Trump demanding Israel stop the bombing on Lebanon. Oh, uh-oh. Netanyahu was shocked by Trump's statement that Israel was prohibited from bombing Lebanon.
I can already hear all the fucking the people now that were like, "Oh, you guys are just working for Israel. You're working for Israel." I can imagine him just the fucking the libtard meltdown that they're having in their brains right now, trying to comprehend this massive shift in everything. They're just having a full-on fucking meltdown at their keyboards now.
Surprise, bitch! One more little bonus event. Trump on Lebanon. I'm going to prohibit him, Netanyahu, from bombing Lebanon.
I can already see it in the comments, too.
When asked how, Trump said he'll tell Netanyahu he cannot do it. All right. Well, there it is. So he's just going to tell him not to do it. Well, shit. Okay. All right. You can't. Well, what do you mean? How? I'm going to tell him he can't do it. There it is. Thou shalt not bomb. Yeah, that's number.
Thou shalt not bomb. Holy shit. Yo, that's too good. That's just too good. I'm sorry, bro. That's just too good. Okay.
Manslaughter fatally.
So this dude protected his home and killed some peoples. And I will say, rest in peace. You won't be missed. Enjoy the bullet. Enjoy jumping over hot coals in hell. You break into someone's property. My honest philosophy is that we need to pass laws that make it to where if you break into somebody's home, you immediately, the second you cross that threshold into their domain, you should be fully aware that you forfeit all rights to your body. That should be what happens if you break into somebody's house. That should be a law.
Teens he caught breaking into his garage has been bound over his trial. Wait, what? What's this? Let me see what this is. Yeah, it's off.
Michigan man charged with manslaughter for fatally shooting one of the teens he caught breaking into his garage has been bound over for trial. His property had been broken into twice before this incident, and police ignored him and told him to increase his security. So now whenever he caught those little fuckers in his shit and he blasted them, they're going to want to charge you for manslaughter. That's what they want to do now. Now that you blasted the little fucker because the cops don't want to do their job and you do your legal right as a fucking American citizen, they want to charge you for manslaughter. Fuck that.
Okay, it doesn't matter.
Obviously, this is a very difficult case because you do have some empathy and sympathy for the defendant, understanding that his property had been broken into. The testimony looks like at least twice prior to this incident.
Look at all of them, bro. Look at them all.
Understanding, and there could have certainly been some real fear on that evening, but the court also notes that the law does not allow you to use deadly force to protect.
The court is trying. The stupid piece of shit judge that's doing this court case is trying to say that because the teens were shot in the back, that it's manslaughter. Oh, I hate to break it to you, but if you break into somebody's house and you're fleeing, maybe you shouldn't have been there. Yo ass wouldn't have gotten capped if you wasn't where you weren't supposed to be. How about that? Maybe don't do it. Oh, but his future. Well, he forfeited his future whenever he went into somebody's house. I don't care if they running up the street, bro should be able to get into his car and mow him down. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. You keep doing this and you call the police and the police don't want to help you and you got to cap somebody, well, guess what? How the hell is that his fault? Maybe the police should have done their part. Maybe these little fuckers should have stayed out of his house.
Your property. In this particular case, it was a detached.
Why not? Imagine not being able to defend your own home.
Exactly.
You literally have. How many of them are there?
There's like 7, bro.
Still waiting.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Five men. No, wait, 6.
7. There's 7.
Yeah, 6 men.
No,
that
six.
that
six.
break into your house. Oh my God.
Just imagine if they had caught him off guard and they killed him in his own home.
But the court also notes that the law does not allow you to use deadly force to protect your property. In this particular case,
Fuck that. And you know what I'd be doing? I guarantee you, if this man knew he was going to go to jail for this, he would have gotten in his car and he'd have ran him down. Because that's what I would have done. If I knew I was going to go to jail for manslaughter after protecting my property, I'd make sure that I killed them all. That's what I would have done. I'd be sitting in jail with the biggest grin, too. I'd be saying to them, well, I called the police, and y'all didn't want to help me. By cause and effect, these people are dead because of your lack of accountability. So I took the accountability, and I will gladly take the accountability in jail, too. And I'd do it again. This is fucking ridiculous.
it was a detached garage. The defendant in this case put himself in the situation.
He put himself in this situation. This guy
They put themselves in that situation by breaking into somebody's fucking home.
His home invaded by 6 grown men, and oh my God.
Exactly.
Oh my God, this is insane. It's his own fucking, this is
Self-defense argument becomes more difficult when the video shows and the evidence.
Fuck self-defense. Fuck self-defense. You got 6 men. Oh, they're all running away. Yeah, they shouldn't have been there. That's what happens when you break into somebody's property and destroy their stuff. You get capped, motherfucker. Big surprise.
Shows that he shot into the garage blindly twice.
If it was blindly, then how are they dead?
Yeah, he killed 2 of them. He shot and killed 2 of them. Guy's a damn good shot.
Any of the people, the burglars or the people.
This right here is the biggest threat to America.
Yep. Look at this fucking fish-eyed freak making decisions that cost people lives. See, them kids would still be alive if they was in jail. Just like Alex Peretti. If they were where they needed to be, which is in a nice 4x4 containment cell, with their inmate, Judd, then there you go.
It is. This is the biggest and most profound and extreme and insidious threat to America. This is it right here.
Yep. Oh, how's it going, darling?
Inside, exited. The video, the evidence, that being the video, clearly shows that he was shooting at the people who were inside in the garage, the people who were attempting to burgle the garage. He was shooting at them as they were running away.
Yeah. And you know what? I bet he wished he had an AR instead of a handgun. I would be.
Yeah, it's too bad he didn't kill more of them.
Exactly. Fucking exactly. You break into somebody's house, and then the owner goes through the trouble of calling the police 2 separate times prior to this shooting, and he finally has enough of it, and he kills a couple of these bastards. Well, you can't say he didn't try. It's 3 strikes, you're out.
So that, in and of itself, is certainly probable cause to show that he did intend great bodily harm.
Bro should be getting a medal pinned to him.
Good. Yeah, good. That's the point. What happened to America? I don't know, guys. I don't know what the hell is going on. Meanwhile, in Florida, I think that if somebody breaks into your house, you should be able to kill them.
Yep.
Full stop.
Yep.
Period. No exceptions.
Exactly. Yeah. No, 100%.
That's it. It's that simple.
Yeah.
So, presidential pardon? Yeah, we give this guy a presidential pardon, something like that. Like, you gotta get him out of this situation. In the house, in the driveway? Well, here's the thing, right? Is like, if they're running away, why would you not shoot them so they couldn't come back?
Yeah, exactly.
Because you don't know at that point why they're in your house. Like, this person could want to cause you bodily harm because they don't like you for some reason. They might want to hurt you. They might try to get revenge on you later on. So the only proper moral decision is to shoot them. This is the only good decision to make, is to shoot them.
Yeah, just imagine if it was just imagine if that was a granny and they didn't have the ability to go out there like that and deal with that, and they end up in her house and they end up killing her because she's like turning on the lights to see what the commotion is, and they break into that garage and then they break into her house through that garage. What the fuck do you think's gonna happen? They're gonna end up killing that old lady. You know what's gonna happen? They're not gonna release the names. They're not gonna want to release the names. They're not want to say what happened. And then a lot of these guys are gonna get slaps on the wrist for killing someone's grandma. No, man, fuck that. Fuck that shit. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
That's what you should do every single time.
Yeah.
Stupid Karens. Why do judges protect criminals? Because we allow them to. The judges protect the criminals because we protect the judges.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the mistake.
Oh, how's it going, Allison?
Try shouting out JD on Twitter about it. See if you can talk to the Don. I don't think that's going to happen realistically, right? 7 people in your house is not grounds enough to feel like your life is in danger.
I don't give a flying fuck. You break, I'm going to tell you right now. Anyone comes through that doorway, you gonna be met with a few magazines. You are. I'm going to make sure you ain't leaving. Ain't going to be none of this. Oh, I'm going to beat you. Nah, bro, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to shoot you. You're going to be dead. And I'm going to be in jail. And I'm going to be happy, too. You know why? Because that means that it's one less piece of scummy shit that's going to go out there and hurt somebody. That means that you ain't going to be alive to do it to somebody else. I don't give a fuck.
The argument was the garage was detached from the home, so they were not in the house.
You can't do it to somebody less fortunate. You know why? Because I was judge, jury, and executioner that day, bitch. That's why.
Hence him putting himself in that situation. Stupid argument, though. Well, it's his property. Like, in my opinion, if people are breaking into your property, you should be able to kill them. Straight up. Just that's it. And why do I think that? Because I don't want to live in a world where people can break into your property. That's the reason why. Like, I see there is no moral reason that that isn't the correct decision to make. It's a huge deterrent. Yeah, exactly. No questions asked. Trespassers shall be shot. Well, trespassers shall be shot. Survivors shall be shot again.
Yeah, why the fuck? Dude, ammo's expensive. Why do you think I want to waste ammo on a warning shot? No, I'm going to point the gun at you. I'm going to start pulling the trigger. That's what I'm going to do. I don't want to waste money on ammo. That's expensive shit. I don't want to do that. No, I'm not going to do that.
I think that was like it's like something that like somebody gave my dad, and like he put it on like his window or something like that because he loved that. And another video is out about this subject. Yeah. Well,
besides that, if you do this thing called a warning shot and it hits the ground and it ricochets, you could risk killing somebody that you didn't intend to kill. I don't want to do that. If I'm shooting a gun, it's either for target practice or it's to kill somebody. That's all there is to it. I pull a gun out, someone's gonna die. It's just like they say, don't ever point a gun at anything you don't ever intend to kill.
Is about this? Like, I don't know if I can find another.
Oh, but once you shoot them, you gotta make sure they're alive. Hell no. Nuh-uh. Nope.
If I can find this here. Danton Clapton, is that it?
You want to live, then don't break into somebody's house. That's how you live. Shit, I've been alive for 31 years and I've never accidentally broken into someone's house before. That's weird.
Yeah, let me look and find it.
The
Ignored him. So his property had been broken into twice before this. Twice before this.
So this was the third time. This was the third time this happened to him.
Oh my God. Oh my God. This is insane. Twice. And the police ignored him and told him to get better security.
Well, his security was Smith & Wesson, motherfucker. Maybe you should have done your job.
He did. I mean, like, he took their advice and it worked. You see him running away? Yeah, he was right. Look at that. This is crazy. Now, Judge Kelly Costin says Dakin Lapton, 24, put himself in a situation despite prior break-ins. She said his self-defense argument becomes more difficult after reviewing security video. Oh my God.
That's crazy.
They've been broken into at least twice before and has been told that the second break-in to beef up his security.
So you mean to tell me that this man had his shit stolen and broken 2 different times? Just imagine if this was somebody working paycheck to paycheck or left out of retirement so that way they could afford their house payments or whatever, right? And you have these little fuckers breaking into your shit, destroying your property and stealing your shit that you can't afford to get replaced. And then you call the police out 2 separate times and they tell you, oh, well, maybe you should beef up your security. And it's like, what are we doing? What the fuck are we, like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? Bro, a cop tell me that, I'd be like, get the fuck out of my house. Get the fuck out of my house. That's exactly what I'd be saying.
And he did. He beefed up his security and they still said it was bad. And delete the video.
They just straight up just expect, they just want this to happen. They're like, they literally look you in the face and say, well, then you should just let it happen. Straight up. That's literally what they're doing. They're just looking you in the face and saying, well, you're getting broken into constantly. Well, you should just let it happen. Fuck that.
911. No, you can't. You shouldn't do that because it gets stored on an internal server anyway. It doesn't matter. I bet the judge lives in a gated community with security. Absolutely. I think that, again, people like this, like, you should just immediately impeach this judge. You should. And I feel like this is the
I don't know. Where did this happen?
This is the time that tarring and feathering people is required. This is when you should do it. Exactly.
Where is the case? In what state is a man going to jail for manslaughter for shooting and killing a 17-year-old for breaking into his house with 6 other individuals? It looks like it's Michigan. Oh, my hoodie. Hold on, guys. Give me a second. Okay, we back. Ah, my hoodie's coming off. Got the Spider-Man hoodie. Got the Spider-Man hoodie, boys. Today is laundry day. There we go. Look at that. I do have other hoodies. Boop.
The time. The judge would change her tune if it was her house? Yeah, exactly. Or somebody wasn't protecting her. I think that's exactly what happened. And I find that to be extremely fucking annoying. I don't know if there's any more about this too, but let me go and pull the rest of it up. Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
New at 5, a White Lake homeowner has been charged with manslaughter in a shooting back in July that raised some questions.
That's crazy.
The prosecutor says Dayton Napton shot a 17-year-old who was trying to steal items from his
Bro,
garage.
Trump needs to give him a pardon. Trump should just pardon him. Straight up, Trump should just give him a pardon. How crazy would that be?
17 years old and he's already stealing?
Bro, how much y'all want to make a bet he's been stealing long before he turned 17? I wonder how many other instances has he been caught and red-handed doing this.
Jesus.
Let's get out to Erica Erickson. She's live tonight with the latest details in this case. Erica, the prosecutor says Napton crossed a line here.
Yeah, and there's a lot of different sides we're hearing. We're hearing from the prosecutor's office, that man's defense attorney, and the family of that teen who was shot and killed, and they're upset.
Fuck them. They're upset that their little bastard got shot and killed for breaking into someone's house? Wow. I have no fucks to give. Maybe you should have raised him better.
It doesn't make sense. They're upset that their kid got killed? Well, maybe you shouldn't have raised a hood rat. Maybe you shouldn't have raised the kid that's going to break into people's houses and steal their shit.
Exactly.
That's what I think.
Doesn't make sense, and it hurts a lot.
No, it makes a lot of sense. The little bastard broke into someone's house and now he's dead. Maybe if he didn't want to die, maybe he shouldn't have done it.
4 months after 17-year-old Savon Wilson of Pontiac shot and killed in White Lake Township.
Rip Bozo. Rest in piss.
That's right.
Should have shot your friends too.
Yep.
Family says the charges...
Yeah, he should have went with a higher caliber. He had to go with a higher caliber. Got to get that penetration.
I'm confused.
I think the way they went about it, it could have been done better.
24-year-old
Done better.
charged with manslaughter, assault with intent to do great bodily harm, and 2 counts of felony firearm for the death of Wilson and shooting another teen in the leg. Wilson's family says they want Napton charged with murder.
It doesn't make sense that it wasn't done out of malice, and for them to charge...
Goddamn right it's done out of malice.
Yeah, who the fuck? Why wouldn't it be out of malice? You're breaking in and stealing his shit. Of course it's done with malice. Absolutely.
Kill him, put him in the ground.
Exactly.
That kid was
well, how could he do it? It was malice, yeah. It was. Look here. He wouldn't be dead if he would have just fucked off. That's all he had to do was fuck off.
That dude shot him and put him down before he hurt somebody else.
Exactly. Well, you know it's not going to stop with robbery. He's going to end up killing somebody. It's a good thing that it happened to him first. Shit.
Damn. What are we doing talking about this? Like he's a victim.
Exactly.
He's dead. Because he's a thief.
Yep.
Fuck him.
You should just be thankful, man. Back in the day, they'd cut your fucking hands off. They'd brand you with a fucking big T on your fucking hand. What you talking about, man? Get up out of here with that. Shit's crazy.
It doesn't make sense. Yeah, because you're stupid. Maybe being stupid is hereditary.
With manslaughter.
Yeah. I'm here every day, 7 a.m. to 8:30 7 a.m. Dude, what the fuck? I'm tripping. 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Central Time. So please sub and hit like on the stream. Please like the stream. Every like helps, boys.
When everything in the report is suggesting that it was malicious intent.
Back in July, prosecutors say Wilson...
We also got that channel membership. Check out that channel membership.
6 others broke into Napton's detached garage.
Yep.
Napton coming out with a 9mm. Prosecutors say firing 2 shots through a windowless, locked garage door. Then, as the group ran away, prosecutors say Napton shot at them 5 more times.
And you can see, they say it's a detached garage.
Oh, wait a minute.
through a windowless, locked garage door. Then, as the group ran away, prosecutors say Napton shot at them 5 more times.
You can see they say
yeah, his magazine ran out, bro. Got to get a bigger magazine.
Garage. This is literally right next to his house.
Yeah, it's attached.
It's not like he ran, you know, it's like 50 yards away from him and he had to run over and defend this. It's right next to his house. It's 2 feet away from his house.
Yeah, exactly.
Ran back inside, reloaded his gun, and came back outside.
Damn, bro was ready for war.
The man was running away and got shot.
Good. Maybe if he hadn't been where he was, he wouldn't have gotten shot.
Should have been
father of the victim. Bro, I find out my son got dropped by some dude that for breaking into his house. I'd go shake that man's hand. I would. I find out my child is, number one, hurting other children in an inappropriate way, or sitting there doing some shit like that. The police is the least of his problems. I'll put you into this world, boy. I'm gonna take you out too. I will snap you up out of this world faster than you can blink an eye. You understand me? Especially if you hurting kids. That goes to anybody.
Oh wait, no, father of the victim. I thought it was this guy.
I never heard anything about him getting shot in the garage.
But prosecutors say Wilson hit and killed from a bullet fired through the locked door.
We had a really close connection.
Nice.
So it hurts
like
a lot.
Counter-Strike.
I would have never expected this to happen to him. He has so many dreams and aspirations.
Well, it's time to wake up.
That's right.
Back out here live, the Oakland County Prosecutor's Office says the rights to own firearms and protect one's family and home are fundamental. Those important rights also come with profound responsibility. We believe the evidence demonstrates this defendant crossed the line by firing outside his home at fleeing persons.
Firing outside his home at fleeing persons. Oh my God.
Well, they didn't flee fast enough, I guess.
How are we tolerating this even a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
How we put up with this even a slight bit? That's crazy. They actually want...
You know what I think? Here's what I genuinely think. If we should pass law, like federal laws, that protect anybody that has a gun, that says that if somebody crosses the threshold into your home, they immediately forfeit all rights to their body. And then we should make it known that if you break into someone's house with the intent of either harming or stealing or destroying anyone's property, period, without the consent of the homeowner, they should be able to put you on your knees and execute you, even after you flee. And if that homeowner decides to run you down with their car, that should also be protected. How are we tolerating these people to come into our homes, our domains, that we bust our asses for, take our shit and destroy our property, and then being told by the police that you got to spend more money to protect what's obviously fucking yours? In what world did we ever decide that this was okay? What is this, a PvP server? We got to worry about warlords breaking into your house now, killing you and taking all your shit? What is going on? What is going on?
They want you to be a victim inside of your own home and let these people go in and rob you. They want them to rob you and steal your shit. And then if you defend yourself, now somehow you're a bad guy. This is so fucking ridiculous. It is. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Wow, I just got off the phone with Napton's defense attorney. He says Napton was startled, and this case is one of, quote, stone self-defense, and he believes Napton should have never been charged. We have many more details.
Not only should he have not been charged, they should have found the other 5 people and then put them all in jail.
Exactly.
And maybe the ones that were being violent, they should have, maybe hung them or something like that, executed them. Like, the fact that we have so much...
The homeowner should decide what happens to him. Shouldn't even be a question. You go and break into somebody else's domain, brother, you asking for trouble. What are you doing?
And, allowance for these criminals is just crazy to me. It is. It's really crazy. Like, I remember whenever Kyle Rittenhouse went and he killed those two guys, like, that was a hero. That's an American hero right there. And
I missed the entire Kyle Rittenhouse thing. I didn't see a whole lot. I had no idea what the fuck was going on, bro.
We gotta have a lot more like that. We have to normalize that. Like, the amount of times that, like, you have these criminals that are going out there and they're, you know, like, causing problems and doing shit that they shouldn't be doing. Like, we gotta put a stop to this. We gotta put a stop to this. It's treasonous, aiding enemies. I totally agree. Zero tolerance for breaking into a home. Exactly. This is why we see a rise in positive sentiment for vigilante justice. This isn't vigilante.
This literally isn't even vigilante justice. This man isn't actively going out and killing criminals. He's protecting his own fucking property from people that broke into his house 3 times. 3 fucking times this happened. He called the police, so the police told him to beef up his security. Well, guess what? He did.
Justice. Self-defense is just simply justice. That's why there's a whole, you know, segment.
You know what would have happened? If they saw that man and they took off, they'd have been back the next night, and the next night, and the next night, and the next night. Fuck that shit. Fuck that, man.
Inside of the law. So many humans could be saved by harsher justice. I know. I really hate this shit. This actually, like, I'm gonna be real, this actually does make me mad. It does. It really does bother me. And
that kid never had a fucking future. If you sitting there breaking into a house with a bunch of friends, bro, you ain't got no future. You piece of trash. Why should a homeowner give a warning shot? That warning shot could ricochet off of something and kill somebody that doesn't deserve it. Warning shot. Get the fuck out of here with that. Warning shots don't, no. No. Hell no. You don't want to get shot at, you don't want to get killed, then don't break into someone's house. How about that?
It frustrates me to no end.
That little bastard didn't have a future. I didn't have no future.
And the reason why it really frustrates me more than anything else is because I know that the judge will not receive the consequences that I think that she deserves for this. Like, that, the problem is not even really the situation itself. It's that the system that produced the situation...
No. I don't think I've made this clear. What should have happened is he should have looked at his cameras and realized how many of them kept breaking into his garage. He should have got an AR with some nice penetrating rounds. And if it was me, and if I knew I was going to go to jail for some little fuck breaking into my stuff, I'd have ran him down even. I'd have gotten into my car and I'd have ran him down on the road. I'd have killed them all. You want to sit here and do this? I'm not thinking of myself anymore. What if that was somebody less fortunate? What if those 6 guys broke into a house and there was a lady in there doing her laundry? What if they broke into that house and there was a grandma in there doing their laundry? What if there were kids in there trying to do, I don't know, whatever the fuck they're doing in a garage? It's the implications that these fuckers broke into someone's house 3 separate fucking times. That's the implication. And now he's being charged with manslaughter for shooting one of those little fuckers? Fuck that. You don't want to end up dead, then don't break into someone's domain. Stay the fuck home. Stay out of someone else's property. I'd be sitting in jail with a big old smile saying, you know what? I got rid of 3 little I got rid of 6 little bastards today. I'm good. I'll sit in jail. I helped out somebody that was less fortunate from the terroristic bullshit these little fuckers would have done.
They'll be allowed to continue.
Exactly.
And I find it to be so upsetting. I do. Disagree. Kyle Rittenhouse is a retard. Well, what do you mean he's a retard? Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, he killed 2 retards that were going out there being violent. Yeah, I don't get that at all. I think that's absolutely, like, I mean, what else you want me to say? Like, I mean, that's great that he did that. I mean, wasn't one of them like a weird pedo or something like that? Thank God he's dead. The world's a better place.
Exactly.
It's the way it is. We may not have conclusive...
Oh, but they can be rehabilitated. The system doesn't allow for rehabilitation. It gives a bunch of people slaps on the wrist and lets them back out in the communities to commit more crimes and do even worse things. That's what it is. Because they don't enforce the laws anymore. They don't enforce the laws. Being sent to jail should be something that these little fuckers should dread. For them, it's a fucking vacation. You should want to get out of prison when you're in there. Prison is supposed to fucking suck.
About SKG, about summertime? Really? Oh, wow. Let me look at that. I gotta find it. You're not wrong about it should be allowed, but the judge followed the law. For her to have done anything different, the law has to change? No? Well, the judge always has...
It's not the law. It's the fact that he called the... Like, you want to sit there and throw the law around. Well, where was the law whenever it was supposed to protect his property? Where was the law then? You want to use the law as an example? This dude had his house broken into 3 fucking times. 3 times! He called two of those times he called the police. One of them he had already killed somebody.
Every judge has the ability to interpret the law in a different way. They do. They can interpret the law in a million different ways. And if you choose to interpret the law in the way that means that the person who's defending their home is now the bad actor, well, you have a big problem.
Exactly. Exactly. So if y'all don't know,
should video game public
Ross has finally made it to the floor. He is single-handedly paving the way for the Stop Killing Games initiative.
publishers be allowed to disable games for you that you bought? European Parliament hearing. This right here. So we all know Accursed Farms, right? Scott, like this is the guy.
This is the guy that single-handedly didn't even try to aim any hatred towards pirate software, single-handedly destroyed pirate software.
Dude has been out trying to push this for Stop Killing Games for literally, when was the first video he did about this? I just want y'all to see where it's at. So where did it go? Longest, I think maybe this is really the first one.
Them again. It would be the consumer movement, which has many shared goals with the initiative. I'd like to clarify what it means to destroy a video game. The second slide. When we say a game has been destroyed, what we mean is a publisher has permanently disabled all copies of it that have been sold so no one can ever play them again. It would be like removing every single copy of a book or film in existence. Effectively,
I feel like if you pay for a game or you pay for cosmetics in a game that goes out of service, you should automatically get your money back. They shouldn't just be able to take it off the market and do away with it. They should be forced to give you your money back.
Erasing it from the culture. The way this practice works is first a publisher sells a copy of a video game. However, it has been designed so that it must connect to the publisher in order to function.
True.
This acts as a potential kill switch. The customer is also given no information when the game will stop working, even though the publisher has decided to assume that responsibility. Then, after an undisclosed length of time, the publisher disables all existing copies of the game, but keeps the customer's money.
Yep.
The publisher also enacts countermeasures to ensure repairing a game. To ensure repairing the game is almost impossible, even for experienced software professionals. From this point
so
on,
the example of that is, for example, Bloodborne. If Bloodborne was an MMORPG and you decided to take that game's code and make your own server, and that way you can host it to all your friends and whatever, the developer of that game can step forward and say, no, they can sue you, and then take they take, they sue you, they win, and they take your game down, and that's effectively what they do. They prohibit your ability to edit the code, prohibit your ability, even if you pay for it, they prohibit you from effectively continuing to play it. And that's the issue. They want to take your money and then use that money to force you to never play it again, which is a weird thing. It's such a weird thing that they do.
No customer can ever run the purchase again.
I think that's a really good point, right? Is that it's not enough that they simply stop providing support. They also actively inhibit support.
Yeah, they take it away and then they beat you down whenever you try to support it.
Besides destroying the game, this practice is also subverting customer
Concord, I guess Concord. Yeah, I don't know why I used Bloodborne. Concord would have been a better example. Like, if you paid the $30 or $40 to get Concord, and now that it's shut down, anybody that tries to play Concord on a private server will automatically be, like, they'll be sued, and then they'll have the game taken away from them or whatever, right? So it's like that. It's a way to oppress your ability to play the game again, or, like, enjoy it at all.
Yeah. Most video games can work indefinitely, which has been the customer standard for half a century, including ones that connect to the internet. Alternately, a small number of video games operate as subscription services, but those inform the customer exactly when their access ends at the time of payment. The games we're referring to do no such thing.
Yep.
It's a bit of miscommunication. They almost always contain terms stating they can end at any time for any reason.
Yep.
What this means is customers have no real protections when they buy games like these.
Exactly.
They are unable to keep them, and they are not informed when they will end. This behavior would be outrageous in other industries. If you bought a book in a store, the publisher cannot come into your home and take back your book at will.
True.
If you bought an insurance policy, you would be informed when that policy ends. Not that the seller could end it at any time for any reason, but still keep your money.
Exactly.
The games being sold this way are operating similar to scams. Publishers know customers expect video.
Here's a really good example of that. Y'all know about the Logan Paul or the Hawk to a Girl cryptos? How they launch the cryptos and then they rug pull their audience out and take all the money? It's the same instance. They release the game. The game is just, it's garbage. It's copy and paste. Like, think of Highguard and Concord. Think about how similar they were, right? They spend a little money to tweak the character's look. They drop one fucking map with one game mode, and then they charge you. Well, even Highguard is a bad example, but Concord is a better example. They charge you $40 for it, or they have skins. Like Highguard did have skins. Highguard had expensive skins, and what you do is you buy the skins, and that's how they get their money, and then they rug pull it out from under you. It's a scam. Like, think about how many multiplayer games came out that did the exact same thing. It's absolutely a scam.
Video games to last. So they sell these in the same way as ones that can work forever. As a one-time purchase with no expiry date, then price them the same. Publishers know that if customers were informed exactly when they plan to disable their games, that would reduce sales, since the longevity of a game affects how much customers are willing to pay.
It's actually a very good point, too. That, like, the fact that they're withholding this information is basically correlated to them getting more sales. So it's basically like, it's another example of a seller withholding information from a buyer.
Well, yeah, it's exactly what happened to Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves would have, like, maybe 1,000 concurrent players on a daily basis. But the second that they announced that they were shutting down the servers, it died. Completely fucking died. No one was playing it. Not a single person.
That would give the buyer a more educated understanding about their purchase. It's like another, it's another form of like just malicious, like bad faith behavior. It's a very good point. I didn't think of that.
Industry is trying to have it both ways, finding ways to say they're selling you a game that they're not selling you.
Yeah.
This creates confusion for everyone involved, and is part of why it's taking customers so long to get exposure on this practice. The legality is also unsettled. Earlier, members of Parliament assisted us in asking questions to the EU Commission about how legal the terms and game license agreements were, especially being able to terminate them at any time for any reason. The Commission stated Directive 9313 EEC prohibits unfair terms causing a significant imbalance in the parties' rights and obligations to the detriment of consumers. The Commission also recommended consumers file complaints with businesses across member states through the European Consumer Centers Network. In 2024, we had volunteers across the majority of EU countries submitting complaints against the French company Ubisoft for disabling the game The Crew.
Yeah, remember that?
The responses we received from the ECC network were extremely inconsistent. Some officials said there was nothing they could do. Others said the company was required to run the game indefinitely, which is unrealistic. But the majority stated there was no clear regulation on this practice.
Nobody knows.
We were independently able to get thousands of complaints submitted to consumer agencies in France and Germany, but there still has been no decision on them on the legality either. To the best of our knowledge, no one in the EU has ever been compensated for this and hundreds of other titles.
Never.
In short, governments in EU countries are not sure how to handle this situation, and customers are overwhelmingly not being compensated for the loss of their purchases. It is an ideal.
I hope that this is the beginning of the end for these malicious online video games. Like these games that basically scam you in like 10 different ways with like different currencies and shit like this. Like I think this needs to
So like Call of Duty is a good example, like COD points. You have to spend like, for example, $50 to get like 1,000 COD points. The skin that you want is 600 COD points, right? So you get the skin that you want, and then you see another skin that you want, but you have to spend another $50 to get that 100 extra COD points that you got from that. So you have to spend another $50 to get another 1,000 COD points. So like this is a form of... There's actually a term for it. I can't think of it right now, but it's scammy. It's scum. They don't want you to realize how much you're spending on a COD skin. You're effectively spending $40 on a skin. $40 is a shit. Like if you had next to that skin USD 40, no one would buy that shit. But because they have that secondary coin in there, you don't realize how much you're spending on it. It's shit like that. Or like, for example, like they used to do this in cell phone games. Now, for whatever reason, it's in a lot of video games, where they would make it to where you have a rest timer, where you can only do so many things before you have to take a rest timer for 24 hours. That's obviously there to make you pay make you pay money to get the rest timer to speed up, right? There is no benefit to having that in a game, period, whatsoever. And a lot of people are going to be like, oh, but the MMO games they're all going to die off if you do this. You don't want games that are going to come out and then die after you spend a shitload of money in them. If that's how it was going to always be, fuck them. It wasn't going to be worth the shit anyway. Why do you want to spend money on why do you want to spend money on something that's just going to be yanked from you? It is just stupid. It's so fucking dumb. It's dumb.
Way more regulated. Because, and this is the reason why I think it needs to be regulated, is because it's being done deliberately to mislead the user. And I think that when you're in a commercial transaction and you do things that are meant to mislead the other party, you are engaging in bad faith behavior, and that's not something that you can do ethically. So they're engaging in bad faith, unethical behaviors in order to get more money out of people.
Yeah.
By, for example, reframing all of the ways that they look at monetization as like crystals or coins or tokens or, like primo gems or something like that. And meanwhile, people don't actually know how much money they're spending. There's no reason for that. It's not even games. This washes over to all digital goods. You're right.
It does.
And
it
this
does.
is the problem, is that because the digital goods marketplace is evolving so fast, that the legal marketplace and the legal ramifications of that are not keeping up. And the result is a bunch of completely unfair, broken, badly designed, and consumer unfriendly practices that aren't regulated because the industry is moving so fast.
I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that at all. We shouldn't have Congress members that need their grandson or granddaughter to fucking show them how a cell phone works. If you don't know how a cell phone works, you damn sure shouldn't be making no laws on games. It's all these people that didn't even grow up with cell phones that are running the country that don't know how the hell a cell phone operates. The fuck are we doing? Are we really going to tiptoe around what's really happening? These people still maintain the mentality that games are a waste of your life and that you'll never make money off of games. Like, you understand this mentality that these older people have like that? Like,
regulation. This is not a new practice. It started approximately 2005 and began negatively impacting customers from
around Allison.
For them around 2010 onward.
Online back then?
However, it often affects a minority of customers whose complaints can get lost in the system. It wasn't until a large case affecting millions that any attempts to get government attention were possible, and there still is no answer. The EU Commission says this must be handled on a case-by-case basis, but this practice is extremely widespread. Future slides. We have formed an amateur study examining over 1,100 video games that require a connection to the publisher. The majority of these have been deliberately disabled by the publisher,
That's right.
with many of the rest still at risk of being destroyed. Under the strictest interpretation of what it means to disable a game, the study found that out of over 400 titles, publishers disable the customer's purchase 93.5% of the time when ending support.
Wow.
This business practice is responsible for more destruction to the medium than anything else by an enormous margin. There is also a strong correlation between this practice and the size of the publisher, as most small studios do not engage in it, as it requires far more resources, work, and liability than they can handle. So even though this impacts a minority of games, it disproportionately affects customers due to the scale of the largest offenders. From sales figures, it impacts tens of millions of customers, minimum in the EU. This impacts developers as well. This may seem obvious, but based on interviews and feedback, we found the majority of game developers do not support having games they've worked on destroyed.
Yep.
They can spend years of their lives creating them, but they are often not the ones making these business decisions, and sometimes even sign non-disclosure agreements so they cannot voice their opinion on the matter.
Yep, for
The
non-disparagement.
main point I hope that does not get lost in this hearing is this initiative welcomes any solution that will solve the problem
it sounds to me like it's not just consumer protection laws that they need. It sounds to me like we need production company protection laws as well. So that way the developer protection laws that can make it to where developers have more free play in what they want to design and take away a lot of the power away from the, I guess, chairman of everything and what they can do to, deter the outcome of a game and how they want to do it.
video games being destroyed on this scale. We want this to be as easy and as practical as possible for all parties involved, and are very open to how that is achieved. We are not even asking publishers to change their business or monetization models, only that once they end support, they do so in a responsible way.
I think that if you're not providing an alternative yourself, then somebody should be able to do it for you. That's my outlook on it. Is that if you're not doing it yourself and then the game gets shut down, somebody else wants to make a private server, you shouldn't be able to shut down the private server.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's literally it.
And here's the kicker to that. If they decide to come up with a law that says that no matter how long a game is going for, you have to keep up with it, you have to keep the servers going, well, then maybe you shouldn't have made the game to begin with. That means that you know full well what you're going to be required to do even if the game fails.
I don't think that you need to require them to run the servers. You don't have to make them give up the code. If somebody wants to recreate the game and do that, then I think that it's totally fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Like City of Heroes? Yeah, one of many. Or WildStar.
Our only goal is to prohibit this destructive practice and thus obtain basic protections for consumers and the medium as a whole.
Yep.
I'd like to add a little bit on the economic aspect. Again, when planned for from the beginning, the cost can be very small. It's mostly about when it's undoing that's more of a cost related.
Yeah.
Earlier the game Concord was mentioned. That's actually an
That's when he raised his eyebrows. He read Concord.
Earlier the game Concord was mentioned. That's actually an excellent example because
oh man, Concord is going to be getting brought up like E.T. for the Atari long after its death, brother.
Oh, no.
It's publicly stated that at least 370 million euros were spent developing that game, and it did not include an end-of-life plan like what we're seeking.
$370 million.
Most of the cost for developing games tends to come from other areas. Like
I don't know how the hell that game managed to amass $370 million worth of fucking money. That game was so fucking trash. What did you spend $370 million on? Bro, they was hitting them hookers and them blow every night, bro. Like, what the fuck? Hey, no way they spent $370 million on that dog water.
Hard assets or marketing. This is just one element out of hundreds that already go into making a game. The other thing is sometimes industry costs or estimates of how much this would cost can be faulty because they're expecting the game.
That's funny.
They're asking
That's
for it to have
funny.
every last feature it did while it was being supported.
That's hilarious.
And many of those can be retired and don't even make sense for a game that's no longer being supported, like administration or anti-cheat measures or account management or things like that.
Yep, like
so that can drastically, there can be hundreds known as microservices.
You know what's crazy is you can't even say that these developers don't have the money to continue running these servers. If you've got the time and the money to shut down a private server that somebody's running through fear of a cease and desist, you've got the money to continue running these servers. It was never about the money, motherfuckers. It was about them doing a rug pull on these gamers to take all their money and run. They spend pennies on the dollar, or for the most part, they use AI to make skins, then they sell them on like the market for like $40, $50, then they rug pull your sorry ass, take the money and run. It was never, ever, ever about just, it was never about maintaining the game itself. It was always a rug pull. These people are scammers. They've just found a new way to scam a lot of people. You have the money to set up a lawyer team and send somebody a cease and desist for a private server. You got the money to continue letting that game run.
Associated with these that can be disabled.
Gamers will win. It's not a matter of if gamers will win, it's a matter of when gamers will win. It's inevitable because there are more of us every single day. Every day, every year, there are more gamers.
Exactly.
Customer still has the core game, so that should be taken into account when figuring out the potential cost. And it might have been mentioned earlier, but we also want to emphasize the companies have been paid already once for the working game, so that should be factored into the budgeting. There were some other points mentioned on the right to repair, whether we need it and how long a product should work. With right to repair, that's a little bit different issue. Well, that's certainly welcome, having the right to that. As I mentioned in my presentation, there are deliberate countermeasures to prevent repair. That it's almost a small miracle when it does happen from extremely experienced software professionals for resurrecting a game. However, if there were repair instructions, that would be very welcome. I think we would even consider that a viable alternative to what we're asking, if it was practical to resurrect the game that way.
Yeah, of course.
And for how long it should work, it's kind of again, the customer standard is indefinitely, as long as they keep the game in good working order on their end. And we're not trying to hold any publishers responsible for updates that break things that wasn't their doing. So how long they choose to support it, we're completely open to. I mean, I think there's already existing EU regulations on that, but I mean, as far as we're concerned, they could end support.
Does this theoretically mean that Concord would have to stay open for like 5 years? Like, imagine.
So they're trying. He's trying to advocate for like a lifespan of it too. That's smart. Yeah. No, that should be factored in. Like, how long can you idealistically run the game? Absolutely.
Your game is never alive. Your game dies in a week, and then like you have 5 more years of paying for the servers.
Oh no.
Next day, but as long as the game isn't destroyed, we would find that acceptable. And the last point.
I smell a whole lot of single-player games coming to the market, boys.
Points on the... Oh, yeah, for doing this through the existing... Just doing this through the courts, through the legal action.
Yeah.
that still doesn't get to the heart of the matter of the game itself being destroyed. We're not really refunds and compensation.
Yeah, I mean, even if the game is free and you spend money on the skins, you should still be required to reimburse the skins. There should be no excuse for them to snap up all of your hard-earned money like that and not give you anything in return. Literally no excuse. No fucking excuse whatsoever. I need to use the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, we bake.
Today, we're talking about drama involving black people. This is going to be very exciting. And yes, I'm doing this specifically because talk to, very easy to get along about.
Right? It was like, whatever. And then he said, if Pete bans me, he's a fucking pussy. And I go, okay, well, all right, how about this? If you apologize for metagaming, then I won't ban you.
Let me give you some context.
Maybe we'll watch that tomorrow. I would ban him out of principle. I would. I'd just ban him out of principle.
President Trump suggesting attacks on Iran will resume if a deal with Tehran isn't reached by Wednesday. Meanwhile, we're learning that Iran has reclaimed control of the Strait of Hormuz. The back and forth has already sent shockwaves to the global energy sector. Before Iran's announcement this morning, oil prices on Friday plunged by more than $9 to about $85 per barrel. Here to react is Phil Flynn, an oil trader and Fox News contributor and our resident oil expert. So we've got some breaking news this morning with Iran saying they are now in control of the Straits of Hormuz. I'm a little confused. We have a lot of warships there, Phil. How exactly are they claiming control first?
Well, they're claiming control because I think they're having second thoughts about the deal that they made with President Trump. And the reason is because what we saw in oil prices. Oil prices plummeted. They realize that their revenue is going down dramatically on this deal, and they're already not getting revenue because of the blockade by President Trump.
Right.
And I think because Iran did not get President Trump to lift the blockade, they're seeing prices go back down. They're having second thoughts. And there have been some unconfirmed reports that some Iranian guard ships have attacked a couple of tankers. They're raising that terror again to scare ships that were making their way through the Straits of Hormuz. So if they're trying to slow that down, we'll see how President Trump responds later today.
So then they attacked.
Stop the trend of oil prices going down?
I really don't think so. When you look at the prices, I mean, if this ceasefire would have held up over the weekend and Iran agreed to that, we probably would have seen gasoline prices fall below $4 a gallon. In fact, they're at $4.05. They've fallen to today. And I think that trend's going to continue. But make no mistake about it, this report is going to scare traders. If this is still in question on Sunday night, we'll see another big price spike like we've seen on the opening on Sunday before, Rachel. So, prices will pop back up a little bit. But Listen, the United States is winning this war. It's only a matter of time. Iran is desperate. These attacks are trying to save face, but there's no way they're going to win, and I think the market's starting to get that. Now, in the short term, the Strait of Hormuz being shut down, it's going to cause some concerns and pains, but we're seeing the market start to work.
Same old with that. What the hell is this?
So Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar insists she's not a multi-millionaire.
I do not like this lady.
And she's now offering an explanation in air quotes there about why her financial disclosures say she and her husband have a net worth of $30 million. Chanley Painter is here with the details. Hey, Chanley.
Hey, Charlie. So get this. The Minnesota representative, she's doubling down that she's not a millionaire after her income disclosures sent shockwaves through Capitol Hill and calls from the president for a fraud investigation. So Representative Ilhan Omar now insisting the initial numbers in the disclosure filed last May were completely off base, which was an accounting that showed her net worth of up to $30 million. But now an amended filing shows shared assets with her husband of up to just $95,000.
Oh, so she fucked up on her taxes? Oh, we got to get her for like 30 felonies. We got to get her for like 30 felonies, guys. Like, what's taking so long? We got to get her for like 30 of them, like, of the exact same felony, at least 30 times. The exact same one.
Quote, the amended disclosure confirms what we've all said.
Obviously.
All along.
Obviously.
The Congresswoman is not a millionaire. Well, the original disclosure signified a stark increase in income, listing that Omar and her husband held assets valued between $6 million and $30 million, a roughly 3,500% jump in net worth from 2023 to 2024, many accrediting it to her husband's two businesses, a winery and a venture capital firm.
You mean that winery that has no fucking wine? That one?
Reportedly, aides of Omar said she did review the filing before submission, but didn't flag the errors.
Exactly.
But Omar's lawyer is blaming the reliance of accountants for the error. Well, now she's saying that she did amend the disclosure voluntarily as soon as this.
Y'all remember whenever they was trying to say that Trump was a 34-time felon or some bullshit, right? It's like the dude didn't even get charged. Like, he got charged for it, but he didn't ever get convicted of it. You do realize that it's innocent until proven guilty, right? It's just crazy to me.
He was identified.
Anything they can do to disenfranchise somebody, dude, they're gonna do it.
And this process.
What the hell is going on? Do we have anything new? As acting ICE director.
And, these talks may find turbulence here because just moments ago, our colleague Trey Yingst says that a regional intelligence official tells Fox News that, quote, the Strait of Hormuz is under full IRGC control and effectively closed at this moment.
So they did close it again. Oh.
Vessels have been forced to turn around since this morning as they attempted to pass through the strait. Trey adds this as well, the IRGC opening fire on at least one vessel as part of the closure policy they declared last night. This is not...
Then why the hell they still got a Navy? Hold on, wait a minute. Last time I checked, that doesn't seem very peaceful. That doesn't seem like a ceasefire to me. You firing at unarmed, not Navy vessels, but unarmed vessels that are just normal fucking people that don't have any guns or anything. That seems kind of like a problem.
The way President Trump suggested
that seems like a problem.
Officials were cooperating with the strait. And we're going to talk in just a moment about how the markets, all the indices went up because of it. But the fact that Iran and the IRGC is effectively trying to step in and reassert control is not going to be met kindly with the president.
No, it's definitely not as the president said it was going to be. And also, it's for those of us just watching on the sideline who don't understand, necessarily all the military, all the military components that are going on here. I'm actually surprised that they can take control of of the Straits of Hormuz at this point. I thought that they had been more degraded militarily and not able to do that. I don't know about you, Charlie, but this is very shocking, or maybe not so.
Well, it's not, it's not difficult to make threats and to as they have throughout the history of the revolution. Iran has
Last time I checked, if you fire upon a vessel, I don't think that's a threat. I think they're trying to shoot you, man.
Which is why we are the only reason they have any power is because they're willing to do whatever it takes to bully people into being afraid to pass through there. But what the thing that I'm sort of baffled by here is I don't know what their long play is. If their long play is to try,
They kind of already said what their plan was. They want to take the Strait of Hormuz, they want to maintain it, and then they want to put tariffs on everybody that goes through it. They said what they wanted to do. It's all the more reason why this damn regime needs to go. They need to go, bro.
The world to come to their side. I don't think this is going to work. If anything, this is going to pressure countries that have been a little bit reluctant to get involved, but I don't think it's going to be to get involved on their side. I think the United States has definitely.
Are you? Are you going down there to fight? It's funny because this proves that you're wrong. Like, what? Dude, what the hell? I'm just gonna perma you. You're fucking schizo. Go take your meds, bro. You need help.
A far better and fairer ability to
What a
keep
fucking
international
weirdo, bro.
waterways
Like,
open
what an absolute fucking mentally ill individual.
people for free and fair trade, and Iran has done the exact opposite. So I don't really know what their long play is by doing this right now.
And why did it happen? I mean, is it possible that there was also in conjunction with this deal there was a ceasefire in Lebanon?
You know what the best part about being me is I wake up every morning and I'm so happy to have chatters. So spamming in someone's chat isn't a disagreement. You're just being a nuisance. So what have you got to say? Yeah, he did. Bahaha was convicted in New York State. It's literally public record. The U.S. already broke the ceasefire. You're almost getting there. How did the U.S. break the ceasefire? Hold on. We got to talk about that. How did the U.S. break? I'm just gonna report you. You're calling me a snowflake. That's hate speech. It's racist. Bye, dumbass. Enjoy your perma. Enjoy your suspension too. YouTube is pretty strict with that kind of shit. Enjoy. How old do you think I am, EDF? No one say anything. How old do you think I am? How old do you think I am? Don't tell me you're gonna roach out because you got pulled up. Damn, there's a new... Y'all must be... Oh, damn. Okay. I'll have to eat me a salad, man. Damn. That hurts. Ain't that damn old. 5 of 31. I'm 31. How is it that I can hold a conversation with you without calling you names? But you're the one acting like a child. You're calling me names. You're acting like a spoiled brat in the comments. Like, I don't have to call you a name, I'm going to. But what makes you think that you know more about the Iran war than I do? What makes you think that you can sit here and tell people what they can and can't talk about? A safe space, little... Okay, well, I mean... Enjoy your suspension. Bye-bye now. I know a lot more than most people. Nobody cares. I imagine that your conversation with me is going to be just a little bit better, huh? So, again, what do you know about it? What do you know about the Iran war? Idiot probably thinks the top 1% should pay more taxes. Yeah, they should. They're rich. The fuck? This guy's a weirdo. Now we get to see the death of the brain cell come out into the comments, guys. The death of the brain cell has officially hit the comment section. Now that I've started... I need to cover politics more. Huh. I need to go back to just pulling up Fox and, like, having conversations with idiots. Like, seriously, that's what I need to start doing.
So is it, I don't have information on that, but it's possible that maybe that was broken and could that have triggered that?
Maybe, but...
Because remember yesterday, the president wrote on True Social, he said, Israel will...
Oh, yeah? So what can you tell me about the past 47 years in geopolitics? Since you're just such a smart individual. What country do you even hail from, my guy? Dare I ask? Immediately, like, says this stupid shit in the chats, bro. Like, why do you think that anybody wants to listen to somebody that's just going to get into the comments and start saying stuff like this? This is just annoying. You're just a cockroach. You're just a cockroach, man. Oop, I didn't mean to do the timeout. Actually, you know what? Maybe I should just start putting people in timeout for 24 hours. Maybe they'll wise up and come back in 24 hours, you know? Maybe I should do that. This guy is a troll, uneducated bum. He's not, he just did what you Trumpers are so good at doing. You attack demonize everyone that disagrees with you. So, I'm the one that's demonizing people. You literally come in here, call me a troll and an uneducated bum. That seems a little hypocritical, huh? I pull you up and ask, okay, so what's your viewpoint? What's your viewpoint on the Iran war? What's your viewpoint on the Iran war, XXRS? Oh, wait, not XSRS, my bad. Sean Flood. What's your viewpoint on it? Nothing? petulant child is what you are. You can barely read. But okay, so again, do you have anything to add? Not our war. We don't belong there, not our war. How did you come to that conclusion? How did you come to that conclusion? They've been attacking Americans for 47 years. When Obama was the president of the United States, they had captured a bunch of Americans in a fucking in a building for 444 days, and they tortured them. And then they made Obama send over 2 planes filled with money. They've been systematically killing Americans for 47 years and screaming death to America for 47 years. Bullshit. You never heard of Screaming Mary? It sounds to me like you're just uneducated. Maybe you should come back in 24 hours and you should go look it up. Look up Screaming Mary. Look it up. You're so, oh man. Hey, this is the reason why I have trouble reading some of y'all's shit. You're so too young and weren't around when the issue started with Iran. The issue never ended, guys. The issue's been the same issue since day one, 47 years ago. There's still a bunch of terrorists screaming death to America and killing American citizens and soldiers. What? How? So do you think that a president shouldn't run the United States because he's not 200 years old? Like, you apply that logic to anything else and it's just brain dead. It's called being a Democrat. That's a good one, bro. That's a good one. That's true. Trump has been talking about Iran for a long time.
Lebanon any longer. They are, and he put in quotes, prohibited from doing so by the USA. Enough is enough. 3 exclamation points. Thank you, President DJT. So
I don't particularly like calling them Iranian threat. The IRGC has occupied the Iran people. Let's be completely fucking honest here. They are being oppressed and systematically genocided 45K strong. These people are not wanting this. They don't want to fucking die, okay? It's the IRGC and that stupid-ass administration that's running the Iranian people that is what's causing this.
I don't know if this has anything to do with that, but that's a pretty strong statement to say publicly to Israel.
It is, but to go back to a point you were making just a moment ago, Rachel, about Iran taking control of the Strait, that's important.
For those of you who are new here, my mom was abusive and would beat the fuck out of me, so she pulled me out of middle school. I didn't go to middle school, though I had really good high grades in high school when I moved to Texas. Being forced to be on ADHD drugs my entire life also fried my brain. So I have a little speech problems here and there. But my ability to critically think hasn't been altered at all. And what is also really interesting is when people get in my comments and they say, Trump said no new wars. Trump said no new wars.
Someone I know who doesn't
No
believe
new
what the
wars.
site said.
No new wars. It's been a hot minute since I pulled these up, huh? It's been a little bit, hasn't it? Man, I need to start pulling these up again more often. No new wars.
The message to Iran.
Don't.
No new wars.
As President Biden said, just don't.
Exactly. One word. Pretty straightforward.
I'm gonna bomb the shit out of them. It's true. I don't care. I don't care. They gotta be stopped.
He said what he was gonna do. He said he was gonna bomb the shit out of them. Word for word, a quote that came from the president of the United States during his election. What are you talking about, man? You never voted for Trump. Don't act like you did. It goes beyond the Iran and the Fairfax, China, geopolitics. And yeah, it's not even a new war either. I mean, they've been screaming death to America for 47 years. This isn't new. When you're sending planes filled with money because they've captured and tortured soldiers, that's not a new war, man. That's been going on for a minute. I never said I was special. I had somebody in my comments just now say that I had problems reading. Yeah, I do. And that's why. I was answering what was supposed to be an insult but I treated it like a question because I'm still trying to come to the table in good faith. Unlike a lot of people that just immediately call me names that instantaneously get permabans. Isaiah was not even close to being as bad as the IRGC when he was. I agree. I actually agree with that. Whatever happened 47 years ago that led to the IRGC taking over the way it is now has been a complete and total fuckery. I like it wasn't a paradise before, but it was still better than the way it is now. I mean, shit, they're being starved to death in their own country. They don't even have clean air or water to breathe and fucking drink. Place is a shithole now. And they just genocided 45,000 people. Like, dude, no. If you are willing to stay in power by genociding 45,000 people, what do you think is going to happen whenever they make nukes? The same scale that they used in their own country of fear and murder is going to be spread all across the Middle East and then the world. That's what's going to happen.
Because Iran did not, before the war started, ever have control of the Strait for the reason Charlie's...
Sure. Let's live in a fairy tale world where America broke the treaty and America was the one that started all of this. I'm still happy America's bombing them. You know why? No country in the world should be allowed to genocide 45,000 of its own people to maintain power. I was on board with Trump going to Iran from day one, before Fox even covered it. Fox didn't even talk about the genocide until recently.
Mentioning every strait on the planet under the UN's Convention on the Law of the Sea, it says no one controls it, and yet we have seen it. And in this statement from a regional intelligence official to Trey Yingst, saying that the Strait of Hormuz is under full IRGC control and effectively closed at this moment, adding that the IRGC...
Talk to Israel then? Fuck Israel. Israel is a fucking stepping ladder for America, just like Donald Trump. I don't give a rat's ass who's running the country. You want to systematically genocide 45,000 people and you get a bunch of fucking missiles shoved up your ass? I don't give a flying fuck what Israel's doing. And you know what's next? Cuba. Cuba's next. Those pussies over there are so fucking scared of America, they're already releasing political people that were locked up for having differences of opinions. They know what's coming, and they don't want nothing of it. Bro in here like a keyboard warrior, acting like he's changing the world, calling people Easter Bunny. Congratulations, you're a 6-year-old.
IRGC has opened fire on at least one vessel is a level of asserting control that Iran has never done. And so it's pushing its bounds.
And yeah, even still, Israel's defending itself. Israel's defending itself from a bunch of terrorists that are launching carpet bombs and fucking intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, into their own fucking country. The fuck? Of course they're... If you think for a second that if Canada or Mexico bombed anywhere in America, that America wouldn't turn that shit into glass and dust, you're fucking schizo. You're crazy. That is not how it works. If Canada launched a fucking missile into the heart of America, people wouldn't even blink twice about nuking the fuck out of Canada. They would turn Canada into glass. Wouldn't be nothing left. They would bomb that bitch to dust, and they would turn the dust and sand into glass because they'd keep bombing it. Wouldn't even be a question. You fucking sit there and bomb a country and they start bombing the fuck out of you, well, guess what? Maybe you shouldn't have done it, dumbass. I don't blame Israel at all for doing what they're doing. You know why? Because America or any other country that could do it would be doing it too. That's what happens when you bomb them.
We have no idea because Iran's never been more militarily defeated, and their ability to take control of that strait would be in the greatest question. Where this goes now is with talks having expected to gotten underway this weekend in Pakistan.
Yeah.
This throws a huge wrench into that.
Yeah, and also into the oil prices, guys.
That's right. Venezuela, Cuba, Iran, and NATO all treated us like a joke. And you know what we're finding out from NATO? That the British Royal Army doesn't even exist anymore. They don't even have a fucking navy. We're subsidizing their fucking governments with our money that we put into NATO. We need to get the fuck out of NATO. 100%. They should be paying us to defend them.
Eventually we'll see that.
At the end of the day, that's what all of this winds up being about, is about the economy. And it is the one piece of leverage that Iran has for 99% of the rest of the world. They just are eager to, obviously there are a lot of political things going on there, but generally everybody, all these other countries, they just want healthy, thriving economies. And Iran is using their ability to infringe upon that to mess things up. And of course, if President Trump plays all of this out, to him, he views this as a tremendous economic victory for the United States, because that...
No, it ain't. I won't consider anything less than the complete and total surrender of the IRGC and the removal of the administration that's been systematically oppressing the Iranian people for 47 years. Anything that doesn't equate to that is a complete and total failure and a waste of Americans' tax monies and time and soldiers. And I've said that from day one. Anything that is less than that is a complete and total waste of fucking time and money. The hell is this?
This is a Fox News alert. Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons announcing he plans to leave the agency, writing that he will stay on until the end of May to help with the transition process. More on that in a moment. It hasn't stopped him from doing his job. And look
What the fuck?
at this. On Thursday, he revealed that ICE busted the largest gift card fraud scheme ever.
Yo, ICE!
And get this, the stolen money was being sent back to China. What?
That's interesting. I sense a problem here. So, what did we find out last week? We found out that a tech company billionaire was funding protests from China in America. And now they bust a fraud scam in America that's sending money to China. We are subsidizing the fall of our own fucking country, boys. Our own fucking country.
The CCP is a huge threat, as well as their transnational criminal organizations that have come over here to just wreak havoc. I'll give you an example. HSI actually broke the largest gift card fraud case ever. And it was from transnational gangs within the CCP that were sending that money back to military units in China. And that all came from gift card fraud here in the United States.
So we're literally funding our own adversaries.
Yes.
Through that.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are, boys.
We're just supplying small amounts, whether it be $20, $15, back to the People's Republic of China. And that was huge.
Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons joins me now. This is astonishing. So to the point of the Congresswoman questioning you there, this is taxpayer money going to China, and HSI, your department, figured this out.
They need to follow the paper trail, and if come to find out it's going to the Chinese government, well, I mean, let's be honest. Can I really say, am I permitted to really say what should happen? I don't think I'm permitted quite yet. Give it some more time. Just give it a little bit more time.
It is, yeah, thanks for having me. And it's really to the credit of the HSI Baton Rouge, Louisiana office. You know, they worked with a lot of the large vendors who were just seeing a tremendous amount of fraud. And when you think about it.
How's it going, Bo Johnson?
$20, $25, it doesn't seem like a lot. But what we saw was, under the Biden administration, there was military-age male, Chinese males, who came across the porous border. And these were the ones that HSI encountered. You know, going into a store, taking a gift card off.
I mean, you gotta have you have to have taxes in order to run a country.
Tampering
That's just
with
how it is.
that, you know, barcode in the back. And we called it gift shaming because no one wants to say to their grandmother, hey, this gift card doesn't have the money on it, right? So no one really tackled it. But we saw billions of dollars of fraud, and it all can be linked back to the People's Republic of China.
Unbelievable. Director Lyons, I also want to ask you about a Hennepin County prosecutor. We hear a lot of demonizing of ICE, and now you have a Hennepin County prosecutor going after an ICE agent for drawing his weapon after he was blocked in by vehicles. Listen to what she said.
Is Hennepin County prepared to go head-to-head with the federal government?
Oh, fuck off with this domestic terrorist. That's what you get for trying to run over a federal agent. You try to run over a federal agent and they pop a cap in your ass, then that's just on you. Shit, maybe you shouldn't have done it.
Absolutely are. And I should say we were able to charge the case because we don't have those obstacles. We expect that once Mr. Moore.
Ain't that interesting? You see what kind of judge that is? It's crazy how they all got the same fucking look, ain't it? They all look the exact fucking same. Fucking middle to late aged fucking Karen who's now evolved into a swamp hag telling you what should happen with your taxpayer dollars while they're subsidizing sex change operations in California for illegals. Motherfuckers in California can't even get a fucking house. All their shit burnt to the ground, but they're gonna subsidize sex change operations for illegals. That's crazy. That's crazy how that works, ain't it?
In custody, that we start the process. We are investigating the killings of Renee Good and Alex Preddy and the
$2. Did you take your daily Ozempic shot yet? Question mark. I'm not on Ozempic. But I'll take that $2 though. Thanks, bud.
The shooting of Julio Sosa Solis. I do expect other charges at some point here.
He not getting banned because he paid money. That's why he not getting banned, by the way. If y'all are wondering, it's because he paid money. Yeah, I'm that time of hooker, man. That's right.
Your response to this prosecutor who has quite a checkered past in her prosecutions?
Okay, I really can't talk about ongoing investigations, but I will tell you this is no public defender or no district attorney should be going head-to-head with the federal government. We should be working in partnership. ICE has always been transparent. We conduct our own investigations. The FBI.
I don't know either. I don't know why this has been. They need to push a federal law, or Trump needs to sign in something that will make it to where if you employ illegals in any state in the country, you will be your company will be debanked, and all the information will be shown, will be looked through. And anybody that knew that they hired an illegal should be charged for sex trafficking. And any judge that lets out somebody that has a fucking CVS length receipt of criminal offenses, and they go out and throw gasoline on somebody and light them on fire, they need to be charged with the exact same charges that that person is going to be charged with that they let out. And then they need to start locking these judges up with them in jail in the same cell. That's what needs to happen. You start holding these judges accountable and you start holding these business owners accountable for what they're doing, you're going to see a massive shift in the entire fucking ecosystem of this country. And then once you're done with that, you know how they have this deportation where if you deport yourself, you get like $1,000, right? So they should make that to where you can claim that like a bounty. So anytime you call the ICE agents and it leads to the arrest and deportation of illegals, you should claim $1,000 per head. That's what should happen. You should get that money.
The FBI conducts investigations. We work with state and locals.
This place would be fucking changed over fucking night. All these people you'd see protesting, they'd be looking at each other and they'd be calling in ICE instantaneously. Just doing that. Just doing that. Not even the rest of it. If they just said, hey, if you turn people in, we'll give you $1,000 per conviction and deportation, the streets would be fucking empty. Overnight. Just doing that. And you can't say that that's a monstrous thing to do. Maduro had a bounty on his head. It was 38 mil. And you know who put that bounty on his fucking head? Biden. Biden put that bounty on Maduro's head. And you know who collected that bounty? Must I continue?
So this type of rhetoric is the reason why, to your point, ICE agents, deportation officers are demonized because of the fact that we have elected officials that just place targets on the back of the men and women of ICE and DHS, and it needs to stop.
And I understand you can't get ahead of that investigation. Here's another scenario that is just mind-boggling to me. This is taking place right here in New York City. 38-year-old man. We have his picture.
Oh, but you can't make a system with bounties. FBI's most wanted, bitch. FBI's most wanted. Every single one of them has a bounty. FBI's most wanted. That shit don't even hold up. Get the fuck out of here.
His name's Roman Amatitla. This man set fire to a building in New York City, and according to
he should be facing public capital punishment. You want to go down? You want to go and burn down a building that could have people in it that could end up burning to death in that building? You need to face capital punishment.
the New York Post, he stayed in the immediate area to watch people burn and jump from the windows while
I thought this was the warehouse dude from Instagram. Are you fucking kidding me? Holy shit. Holy shit. When did this happen?
He stayed in fire to a building in Roman Amatitla. This man set fire to a building in New York City, and according to the New York Post, he stayed in the immediate area to watch people burn and jump from the windows.
These are the motherfuckers we got being literally like bust in by mass into our country, dude. What the actual fuck? What the absolute actual fuck?
While sipping his beer in what was described as an act of mass murder, 4 people died, and Mom Donnie won't give this guy to you? What is going on?
You know what you need to do? You need to mobilize the United States military, completely take over New York, dethrone, I'm using that term very specifically, Ma'am Donnie, charge his ass for aiding and abetting, and then you go ahead and charge him with treason on top of that, and you put both those fuckers up for capital punishment, and you publicize it, and put the message out there that anybody else that decides to do that and allow this to happen and doesn't make these people face the fucking consequences are going to face some consequences of their fucking own. That's what you do with these motherfuckers. Holy shit.
No, and that's sad. You know, the fact that the district attorney is the one that labeled that crime as a act of mass murder and called this individual sinister. Here you, like you said, you have someone drinking a beer, watching people jump out of a burning building. These are the public safety threats that ICE wants. And to use these type of heinous crimes that affect American citizens and legal immigrants all around the United States, and to use it as a political football is not public safety. You know, I ask all elected officials, please stop playing the games and give these dangerous criminals to us, because we have the evidence. We asked for this individual, and he was not turned over to us.
I mean, so what's the next step? He could be roaming the streets behind me if he's not given to federal custody?
Well, I'll tell you, the men and women...
Then take over New York. You know, I saw some... Hold on, wait a minute. I got to address this. I saw some fucking absolute brain-dead lobotomite yesterday on some stream talking about how we need to separate all the reds and the blue states and make it to where the blue states operate efficiently on their own. And he's sitting there talking about how, like, the blue states will be completely efficient. They'll do all this stuff the right way. And I'm like, bro, you got immigrants in your own state that are burning down buildings, sipping on a beer across the street, watching people burn to death. Bro, you straight up turned American states into PvP servers. The fuck are you talking about? Hell, like, what the fuck? Bro. Yo, this is what should happen to these states that decide to sit here and do this. The government should cut off all their federal funding. If they don't have a nuclear power plant inside of their state, they should cut that shit clean off. And if they do, they should make it to where that shit gets cut out of their infrastructure, and they should turn that shit off. And tell them, well, you got what you wanted. Here you go. There's a reason why New York, people are fleeing from it like it's a foreign fucking country, bro. People leaving New York, businesses are leaving New York en masse. It's because everything there is getting shut down because of all the theft and the lack of police. Bro, like, what the fuck do you mean? This motherfucker sat across the street and was sipping on a beer, and your bitch ass not going to turn him over to federal people. Are you fucking kidding? How do we this is being tolerated. This is 100% being tolerated. This is insanity. This is fucking crazy.
investigations and enforcement removal operations, they're out there day, night, looking for these public safety threats. And we won't stop until we get them all, because we're keeping President Trump's promise to make America safe. And by making America safe is getting these dangerous criminals out of our neighborhood.
Well, thank you for that. And thank you for trying to stop the next Laken Riley, Rachel Moore, and Jocelyn Nungaray. The list goes on. We have had a shakeup in California, as was just reported, Eric Swalwell out of the California race. But one of the leading Democrats is Tom Steyer. And I want to revisit his comments about the men and women of ICE that you lead. Listen to this.
I'm very straightforward about this. ICE should be abolished. You really can't reform an organization.
You know why they're saying that now? They're saying that now because they did defund ICE originally. They defunded ICE during Biden. And the thing is that what's going to happen is that the next president's going to get back in and they're going to continue to fund ICE. So they're trying to get rid of it now, thinking that's going to stop it, along with the DOJ, the Department of Homeland Security. They're trying to defund the Department of... Let me rephrase that, or re-say that. They are trying to defund the DOJ, the Department of Homeland Security. No. Just no. No.
Which is absolutely wrong and criminal from top to bottom.
He's calling your organization criminal. Your response to that?
It's disgusting. You know, this is my second time working for President Trump. I also worked for President Obama for 2 administrations. ICE is the same. ICE is a law enforcement organization, an elite law enforcement organization with true professionals that are out there every day taking public safety threats. And unfortunately...
Based, because that's what they are. They're law enforcement.
The state of California is riddled with public safety threats because they won't work with the federal government. They won't work with the men and women of the Department of Homeland Security. And unfortunately, this is, again, the type of rhetoric is the reason why ICE is demonized, called Nazis, and called for their arrest, because elected officials just use ICE as a political football.
And Director Lyons, you have done an extraordinary and elite job in your role. I know you're stepping away to spend some time with your family. Nothing more important than that. But I want to revisit your career. 20 years serving this country, leading...
I'm sorry, did I say DOJ? I meant to say... Not the Department of Justice. I'm sorry. I meant to say the D... They're trying to defund the Department of Homeland Security. I don't know why the fuck I said the DOJ, bro. I'm cooked. Look, it's been a long week, all right?
And part of that time, and here's your record. Just in the Trump administration, too, you were handed an open, porous border, criminals pouring across from Biden, 584...
The DHS, man. I meant to say the DHS. I meant to say the damn DHS.
4,000 deportations. Job well done, and I want to thank you for that. A few moments just to reflect on your time in the Trump administration.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and I tell you, I'm extremely humbled and proud to have started my law enforcement career with ICE and ended it leading the organization. Not too many people have that opportunity. Again, I took a lot of time in reflection and prayer. My sons are at a younger age where they're becoming young adults, and my wife and I just really want to spend time with them. And I'm happy where the agency is. You know, last year, I was thankful that President Trump had the confidence in me to lead this agency. Secretary Noem had the confidence to select me as the acting ICE director. Mr. Homan, Tom Homan, great friend and mentor, recommended me. Secretary Mullen, again, had confidence again. So I'm very happy to be at the forefront of the men and women of ICE who are out there. And I have to say, I did the job really for them. I took all the blows, took all the punches.
All right, we'll do one more. Maybe this one?
Blue Sky 4, this is U.S. Navy Warship 115. Request you return to original port of call in Iran.
And welcome back to Live.
Blue Sky 4, this is U.S. Navy Warship 115. Request you return to original port of call in Iran. How copy? Over.
Copy, sir. Thank you very much. Copy, sir. Me alter to Iran. Thank you.
Blue Sky 4, this is U.S. Warship 115. I understand you will return. To your previous port of call in Iran. This is U.S. Warship 115 standing by on channel 16. Out.
You just heard the blockade on the Strait of Hormuz in action. The USS Rafael Peralta is one of several ships still enforcing the blockade. The U.S. has now forced 21 ships to return to Iran since it began. But how exactly does this work? Our next guest helped shape U.S. maritime policies at the Pentagon. Retired Navy Captain Brent Sadler joins us now to break it all down. Now, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And before we get into exactly how this works, can you tell us what the current situation is right now? There are reports out of the Middle East that Iran has now closed the Strait of Hormuz. Can you give us the latest on the ground there?
Yes, and thanks for having me on. It's a topic that, as expected, is very dynamic, and it appears that elements in Iran are going back on their word to not challenge shipping and are threatening to try to at least shut the straits again. Whether or not
I have not seen the new jet. Did they announce a new jet? New jets. Not the New York Jets. New jet. What new jets? It's going to be the Strait of America, yeah.
I think that question's been answered in the negative, given the successful weeks of attacks against their Navy, their Air Force, and their missile forces and drone forces. But it will have an impact on the insurance or the underwriters, which will have a downward pressure on shipping.
So, and now let's step back and talk about
F-47. F-47 jet. What the fuck is that? Bro, it literally looks like a damn Dorito. It's a 6th generation air superiority fighter for the U.S. Air Force. It's an NGAD? NGAD. Next generation air dominance. Bro, what the fuck? It looks scary, bro. I would not want to see that. It looks like a damn spacecraft.
It looks like sort of an obvious thing now in retrospect. But when President Trump made the decision...
Hold on, let me see. Give me a second. Give me a second. I can pull it up. Hold on. I'll pull it up. Bro, if you thought the planes that we have now were scary, wait till you see this thing. F-47 jet. I'm sure it's going to have like some different looks to it. But like, I think this is the general look they're trying to go with. Boop. Boop. That's what they're trying to go with. That's not even the one that I saw. The one I saw was a little bit... This one. This is the one I saw. Bro, they just keep getting thinner and thinner, huh? I mean, I guess there's more than one way to skin a cat, huh? But what if it had a bunch of thrusters on the bottom that systematically turn backwards whenever it goes, so that way it goes even faster?
On the insurance or the underwriters, which will have a downward pressure on
It kind of does look like a drone.
So, and now let's step back and talk about, you know, it looks like it's sort of an obvious thing.
How have we lost anything during the Iran war? What have we lost in the Iran war? Can you name one singular thing? You must not be paying attention. Gas is going down now. Who gives a fuck about the dollar? That's the only thing you could think of? If the price on gas has to go to $5, it won't matter if we systematically annihilate the IRGC and we take 50% of all their oil, it's not gonna matter. Oil gonna be like 99 cents a gallon, bro. Like what do you well gas is? Like what is that it? Up $1. Oh, a whole dollar. You know when Bush was president for 8 years, it was like fucking almost $6 a gallon. What you talking about, bro? How long you been an adult? Are you an adult? Do you need an adult? That's a kid answer? You do realize that most of the world's oil comes out of that strait? So if America blows the IRGC up, kills all the members, and systematically unoppresses a oppressed race of people, that we can take 50% of their oil as a fucking a down payment? What are you talking about? That's a kid answer. What are you even talking about, guy? What if he don't, though? That's a lot of it's that don't look like it's gonna happen. Okay, well, who gives a fuck? America killed IRGC members that have been torturing, killing, and experimenting on Iranians for 47 years. How's that a loss? Well, you didn't hear about the 45,000 people that were systematically killed prior to America's involvement? You want to sit here and say, like, what about the fact that they've screamed death to America for 47 years and captured Americans and soldiers, tortured them for 444 days, while Obama sent over planes of money? You know what's crazy is the amount of money that Obama sent to these terrorists that held American soldiers was the exact same amount of money it cost to go and save that downed pilot. And you know what? Every dime of that $4 million was worth getting that downed pilot. And the soldiers from the Obama administration, but they shouldn't have left. They should have killed them all. That's what should have happened. They should have killed all the terrorists. It sounds to me like they had it coming. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds to me like a bunch of terrorists at the ass end of the world that had Flintstone cars were screaming death to America, not realizing how powerful America was, because every country in the world is trying to say that America's a joke. Well, we just snapped up Maduro in approximately 45 minutes and completely obliterated 2 administrations in Iran and completely destroyed, yeeted, and deleted all of their toys in a matter of 2-3 weeks to about maybe 1 or 2 months. Are we still a joke? I don't think Cuba thinks that we're a joke. They over there roaching out like bitches. They over there roaching the fuck out. We ain't even in Cuba yet. They already releasing political slaves. That's crazy, ain't it? That's crazy. But we losing? Hell no, we showing everybody in the world, baby, we're back. And you know what? We never left. We were just playing ball game with a bunch of fucking underdeveloped losers. That's what was going on. We were holding back because the world wasn't ready for soldiers to be microwaved where they were standing. That's what was going on. Bro, they down there with bows and arrows and we got spaceships. That's what's going on. And now y'all butthurt because we ain't doing it. You trying to advocate for a bunch of terrorists that are marching people over to bridges and power plants and surrounding them so that way America couldn't blow up their fucking infrastructure. Looks to me like they losing pretty hardcore to me. Shit, couldn't even do it. You couldn't even bring soldiers over because they get deleted the minute they set foot outside. The minute they stick their little noggin out that head, that fucking hidey hole where they're at, they get blown the fuck up.
Now,
looks like we winning to me. Shit. We don't even know who's running that bitch. We don't even know who's running it. First we saw a cardboard cutout, then an empty chair that people was kissing. What the fuck is that? And president up there giving press conferences every day, talking about how we blowing up a nasty little group of people, making fun of them after they get blown the fuck up, putting out like memes and shit on the White House fucking Twitter. Man, it looked like we winning to me. Shit.
But when President Trump made the decision to say, okay, no, actually, Iran has spent the last 40 years trying to control the Strait of Hormuz, we're going to go do this, and we're going to shut it down from Iranian oil coming and going freely. Explain how all of that works.
No, absolutely. It's all about leverage, and it's about confidence in safe access or safe transit through the straits. And the Iranians knew all they had to do was get 1 or 2 hits of ships or even have a mine spotted to have the effect of shutting shipping down. So it was necessary for the U.S. to demonstratively or very visibly sail through there. That's why you
China and Russia's not getting involved with this. Russia's capped. They're gone. Russia's losing ground to a bunch of people with brooms and fucking AKs that jam every 5 seconds. Russia is picked a fight with a group of people knowing full well that Russia's army didn't want to fight them. Russia's not doing anything. If Russia gets involved in this, they're cooked. China is agreeing with us. They're agreeing with what we're doing. You know why? Because these people are fucking awful to work with. They keep killing everybody. How could you claim that you're allied with somebody that would just as easily bomb you the second they get bombed by a foreign country? Just imagine we're in World War I, and they got hit by Russia, and then they started bombing the U.S. Well, what the fuck did we do? We didn't do shit. The fuck? Bro, we just sitting over here fucking barely getting a feel for the world, and now we got fucking Europe trying to bomb us because they got bombed by Russia. How the hell does that make any sense? The fuck? What the fuck? China don't want none of this. China don't want none of this. They're trying to do their own thing. Russia don't want none of this either. They're trying to do their own thing. They're losing at it, but they're doing their own thing. They don't want none of this. Why do you think Cuba's roaching the fuck out right now? Cuba roaching out like crazy.
The destroyers and mine clearance operations over last weekend, and then you started to see the confidence go up and the shipping to pass through. And of course, the most significant leverage the United States has, and where Iran is the weakest, is their economy relies on shipping, specifically their energy market. Well, a vast majority of their trade, and the $90 billion trade before this war, is due to commerce and petroleum. Carg Island, 90% of it. The rest of it, more closer to...
So I've given it a couple thought over the past week. I think I have what the President of the United States is trying to do with the Strait of Hormuz. So, you can't tell me that an administration that managed to snap up Maduro and put him in a New York court doesn't know that a bunch of terrorists are going to take over the Strait of Hormuz. I think that instead of dropping a nuke on a bunch of peaceful people like the Iranians, Trump did everything he did with the sole purpose of bombing the shit out of the IRGC to the point of practical extinction. And he's going to make the rest of them roach out by cutting off their economy, by giving the Iran an excuse to cut off the Strait of Hormuz. It gave America the excuse to cut off Iran using the Strait of Hormuz. He is systematically bankrupting these people because he knows that they're so ingrained in Iran that there's no way you're really going to bomb them all out. So what he's trying to do is shake up the very foundations of these people that are keeping them in power, which is money. Freezing their banks, keeping them from getting oil to their economy, keeping their economy in a stagnant $4 million loss every single day. It will force the Iranians to rise up against their regime, overthrow their government, and it will force the IRGC members to flee, which will cause their numbers to dwindle to the point of non-existence. That's what's going to happen. I am almost fairly certain that's what Trump is doing. I think that it was a forced tactical misstep by America to do this to Iran. They wanted Iran to take the Strait of Hormuz because not only did it show that the IRGC is willing to do whatever it takes to enforce their terroristic ways by cutting off the entire world's oil supply, but it also showed that as a country they can't be trusted with this kind of power because they'll abuse it and oppress everybody around them. I think that they played right into Trump's hand. That's exactly what they did. A lot of people think Trump is stupid, but when you're surrounded by a room full of people that have systematically been eyeballing every country in the world on how they're gonna, systematically destroy them, I don't really think that it's Trump who's doing this. I think that there are a lot of very, very highly trained individuals behind closed doors that it is their job and their life's purpose to sit there and pick apart every single piece of a foreign country as they can to make sure that it never becomes a threat to America. That's what I think. I think that this is all by design. And I think they played the part. That's exactly what I think. And I think that Trump wants this to keep going, too. He wants this back and forth of, oh, it's closed, it's open, it's closed, it's open, it's closed, it's open. Because every single day, their economy takes a $4 million loss. That's a huge amount. With frozen banks and $4 million costs, how long do you think they're going to outlast this? And he has to do this. Because when you have a group of people that are marching citizens at gunpoint and using 12-year-old soldiers to march citizens at gunpoint to places of infrastructure to make sure that if America blows them up, that they're blowing up innocent people. You want to play this game? Well, we were already playing it and winning. You played right into our trap card, bitch. That's what I think is going on. I had to sleep on that thought before I decided to say anything about it. I was halfway there, but then I was like, let me sleep on the rest of it. I think that it was all planned by design from the beginning. Their entire economy is going to collapse if they don't come to terms with something.
Ports down along the Straits of Hormuz. So you control the straits, or at least you control the approaches to it, which the U.S. Navy does have that capacity, is demonstrating it right now. It basically holds the Iranian regime by the jugular. Right. And it's a good point of leverage. It's one that should not be given up quickly or lightly.
Right. It all seems very obvious.
Did I say 4 mil? I meant to say 400 mil. Man, I am tired today, bro. I'm tired, man.
It's amazing that no one had sort of figured all that out before now. Brent Sadler, thank you so much for joining us.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News.
I had to sleep on that. I had to sleep on that little nugget and see if that made sense. And I slept on it, and I was like, you know what? I think that's what's going on. I genuinely think that's what's going on right now. Instead of killing a bunch of innocent people, Trump is trying to literally cook them from the inside out. Hunger makes you do crazy shit, man. Hunger makes you do some crazy shit. All right, boys, we are rolling. Well, I'm tired because I stayed up late last night playing Pragmata. That's why I'm tired. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. I ain't even gonna try to sugarcoat that. It's my own fault. It ain't my own fault. I did it to myself. I'm dumb. But I don't regret it. All right, boys, we rolling. I'll be back. Or if you're new here, sub to the channel. I'm here every day, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Central Time. Every single day. All 7. Even on Easter. So yeah, sub to the channel, like the streams, like the videos. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Oh, well, actually, you know what? Hold on. Let me do an actual outro for today, man. Let me do let me not do that, huh? Let me just not be a dumbass, huh? Let me do statement. Okay. All right, boys. Stay safe out there. Stay away from crazy people. Try to put a smile on someone's face. Try to put a smile on someone's face. You might change their whole day or their whole life. You never know. Have a good rest of y'all's day. I'll see some of y'all tomorrow. If y'all just pop in and hit a like and sub or whatever, that's fine too. That's fine too. But thank all of y'all for showing up and watching. Check out that channel membership. Thanks for the donos. I'll see y'all's tomorrow, boys. Tomorrow. Another beautiful day tomorrow, boys. Stay safe. Peace.
I got facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past and the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness, hilarious, you think you're with my time, you're delirious, mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior, inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior, get off of me, this ain't no humble brag, I want you to hear words, you can say them back, I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got it.